Arlington, Philadelphia. A Beasley Media Group station. Official home of the Sixers, Flyers, Union, and the best Eagles talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic.
And a good Wednesday morning, Philadelphia. I'm Andrew Salchunas. It's the Midday Show, 97.5 The Fanatic. I hope everybody had a nice Halloween yesterday. A little chilly outside. You know, it was a nice day. The kids, they're all over the place, getting all the candy. Beautiful day. I love Halloween. I don't do like the decorations, but I just love the idea of Halloween. So I hope everybody had a nice day yesterday. And you know what? It's Wednesday now. So it means that we're at the midway point of the week, which means we get to start focusing on the upcoming football game, right? And yesterday was a big day for sports talk because we talked about the James Harden trade, and we're all excited about it, and people seem to be buying back into the Sixers, and that's exciting. That's great because I love it when people are in on the Sixers. And I know that it's been ultimately disappointments every single year, but everybody's in on the Sixers. I like that because it leads to daily conversation, right? Because football, it's fun. You react on Monday, you kind of sleep on it on Tuesday, but then Wednesday hits and you're like, all right, am I really going to start focusing on the game ahead? It's nice when the Sixers are there, when the Flyers are there, and, of course, during the Phillies and their playoff run. Like, it's nice having those two teams going. Well, it's a little bit different this week because this week is Cowboys week. And I'm going to, before you turn off the radio and go, here we go. We're going to do the whole, like, what do you hate about the Cowboys? I'm going to do it a little bit differently today. Because here's the deal. I've been here for almost 10 years now, right? I've surpassed 9 years at the station. I'm going on 10 years at the station. And Cowboys week, since my beginning days here at the Fanatic to now, has changed dramatically as the years have gone on. So if I go back to my early days as a part-time producer, floater, you name it, it was, all right, Andrew, we're going to have you go in the back, and you're going to type up a list of guests that could potentially come on this week. So, A, you have to see if they're still alive. Like, that was, like, a real deal. Like, all right, check to make sure that this guy that played for the Cowboys in the 70s, in the 80s, and the 90s is still alive. See if he's said anything recently on the radio, whether it was in Texas or here in Philadelphia in recent years, that you may want to lead to a story. Right, like that was part of my role in my early years of, all right, who are the relevant, obviously Troy Aikman's always going to be up there, and Emmitt Smith and Michael Irvin, like those guys are always up there. But then it's like, who are the other guys? And remember, there was the big year was Drew Pearson. Now, I was working middays at the time, but the big year was Drew Pearson and what he said at the draft. So we had to get Drew Pearson on, right? It was almost an award or reward. Whoever got Drew Pearson on the station would get like a $50 gift card, like one of those kind of deals, right? And so that was Cowboys week. Cowboys week was such a big deal back then where it was, all right, find the guests and come up with the topics and, we would play all the old highlights and everything. And we kind of did the same with the Eagles players of the 90s and the 2000s because here's what you wanted to do. You wanted a guy to eventually talk about their hatred for the Eagles, and you wanted the guy to talk about the hatred for the Cowboys. There was one day where I remember our old boss, Matt Nahagian, was able to book a former Eagle and a former Cowboy at the same time. And they were both on the phone at the same time. They basically had a back and forth. It was cool, right? But those days are gone, man. Those days are gone. And it seems like Dallas week has lost its energy. I know we still have fun talking about the rivalry every once in a while, and we do the whole who was the Cowboy you hated the most, give us your top 3 hated Cowboys. When you think of Eagles, Cowboys, what do you think about? But if you think about it, all right, since 2000, the Cowboys have been irrelevant. They really have been. They've had a couple of blips here and there, win the division here and there, but they haven't done squat. They haven't reached the NFC Championship game, let alone win a Super Bowl. And then, I really started thinking about this morning when I was thinking about what to talk about. If I go back since 2020, I'm asking 3 years, who's the Cowboys player that you hate? There really isn't. Like Dak Prescott, we hated in 2016 and 2017 and 2018 because we did the who's the better quarterback arguments of Carson Wentz and Dak Prescott. And then Wentz, we all know what happened to Wentz. And since then, Prescott has not been good. He's not been the quarterback that everybody tried to anoint as the greatest Cowboys quarterback of all time. Ezekiel Elliott, I hated him. I hate everything about him. Stupid beard, stupid belly shirt, stupid first down celebration. But since 2020, he's been washed, and he's not even at the Cowboys anymore. And then maybe the best player in Dallas is Micah Parsons, and he wants to be here, man. He wants to play for the Eagles. He doesn't care about the Cowboys. So if I think about it, over the last couple of years, there really hasn't been anything to get, fired up about. Like, it isn't relevant. And if you think about my lifetime, right, I was born in 93, Ray a couple years after me. The Giants are the team that have actually had success in my lifetime. I know the 90s, the Cowboys were good, but like you think about it, I was 6. So 2000s and beyond, when I was really starting to get into sports, they've done nothing in 23 years. The Giants won 2 Super Bowls in my lifetime. And everybody go, oh, come on, those were weak Super Bowls. They barely won any games. The Eagles own the Giants. Okay, the Eagles own the Giants, but the Giants owned winning Super Bowls. The Eagles didn't. I saw the Giants win 2 Super Bowls when the Eagles would beat up Eli Manning and the Giants. So there was a form of jealousy there, which makes me hate the Giants even more. Now you ask, so do you not hate the Cowboys? Of course I do. I was born and raised into hating the Cowboys. My dad bought me a T-shirt of the kid peeing on the Cowboys logo. I had a T-shirt that said, I support 2 teams, the Eagles and whoever kicks the Cowboys' ass. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I had those things. My dad had all the little knickknacks of the Cowboy, star getting peed on. All that stuff. So, like, I was born and raised into hating the Cowboys. But I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and come on the airwaves today and go, it's Cowboys week. I hate the Cowboys. Like, no. When I see the Giants jersey blue, I get more angry than when I see the Cowboys blue jersey. It's just who it's been my life, okay? And I know that there are people that have been born before me. I'm not, I don't ignore that. So I understand that you have more deep-rooted Cowboys hate than I do. A lot of you that are listening right now. I totally get that. But I think even you can admit that since 2000, like, what has really pissed you off about the Cowboys? What has really done anything to you to make you upset? The only thing that they could still do, and we talk about the fans all the time and how annoying they are. Like, yeah, they're annoying, but I got to kick rocks. Like, what does the Cowboys fan have to say to me? We got the ring. Oh, well, we have 5. Whatever. How many jokes have you heard about, well, the last time you watched your team win the Super Bowl, it was a VHS tape, right? Like, you've heard those jokes a million times because it's true. It's absolutely true. So I'm sorry. I'm sure there's somebody driving right now going, man, it's Eagles-Cowboys week. I can't wait to hear Andrew on the radio rip the Cowboys and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I hate them. But like that, I could come up with more Giants players that I've hated than the Cowboys players in my lifetime. And so I want to kind of have that conversation. This is a conversation that crosses generations, right? When we talk about a Sixers game, it doesn't matter what your age is. You see what you see. If the Phillies lose in the NLCS in Game 7 and crap the bed in Game 6 and 7, it doesn't matter if you're 10, 20, 30, or 90. We're all upset, right? It doesn't matter. But this is one of these shows where I want all generations to check in. Because I remember last year doing the show with Anthony, and there was a kid my age that called in and was like, come on, Junis, I hate the Cowboys. And I'm like, what has happened in your life? What has happened in your life to really make you hate the Cowboys? Well, back in the 90s, I was like, in your life, forget history. In your specific lifetime, what has happened where you would go, yeah, I hate those Cowboys? Nothing. They are irrelevant. So I'd love to hear from you at 610-632-0975 because the question is, do you still have that same energy that you used to have for Eagles-Cowboys week? Because I can tell you right now, the energy at the station is not the same. We don't do the booking of old Cowboys players anymore, right? Like, we don't do that. And then, because here's the other thing, like, to a point, at a certain extent, like the players of the 80s, why we don't talk about them anymore. And really, the teams that we talk about are the Patriots, right? We talk about the Patriots more than we do the Cowboys nowadays because the Eagles have had 2 run-ins with the Patriots in the Super Bowl since 2000. The Cowboys have been irrelevant. And I think the best thing is, if somebody's upset about that, that's an Eagles fan, just ignore that for a second. Think about the Cowboys fan that's listening. Because you know that there are Cowboys fans in the Philadelphia area that are listening to the show right now. Whether they are 4 for 4 Dallas fans or 3 for 4 frauds, but they're a Cowboys fan. That's their other team. That's the one team they don't support that's Philadelphia. I bet you Their asses are burning right now. Hearing me say, oh, the Cowboys? I don't care about them. Yeah, they're a good football team. They're 5-2. The Eagles have one less loss than them. So this game's important. This game's very important. But this game would be important if it was Niners week. This game would be important if it was Seahawks week. This game would be important if it was Detroit week, because all these teams are at the top right now in the NFC and fighting for home field advantage. It has nothing to do with it being the Cowboys for me. It just has everything to do with, all right, they're in our division, and you don't want to lose, because if the Eagles fall to 7-2 and they get to 6-2, well, now you have the same amount of losses heading into the bye, and then we'll be upset heading into the bye that the Eagles lost. The Cowboys thing doesn't mean as much to me anymore. I have a story of a caller that I talked to a couple of years ago that I'll tell you about next, because it was one of those totally different generation things where something happened between the Eagles and Cowboys where this guy called into the show. I was doing postgame at the time, and he was fuming. And all I had to say was, why is it bothering you so much, man? Like, the Cowboys are irrelevant. I'll explain what that is coming up next, but I would love to hear from you. The Eagles-Cowboys rivalry, does it still mean the same to you? Because I'll be honest, I think as a kid, I cared more because, like, my dad did. But since I've grown up, become a man, gotten out of the house, what is there to really be pissed off about? Like, what is there to really be like, oh, Eagles, Cowboys? Love to hear about it with you. 610-632-0975. We have stuff on the Sixers as well. All coming up right here, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
All right, stand pat. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by Compassion International. Families in poverty are facing a global food crisis. $50 provides food kits to feed family for a month. Just text the word radio to 97646. Eagles didn't make trade on the NFL's deadline day. That trade deadline was yesterday at 4 p.m. Eagles trade defensive tackle Contavious Street in a 2025 7th-round pick for a conditional 2024 6th-round pick on Monday. Also acquired safety Kevin Byard, as you know, from the Titans last week. That's the extent of what they did leading up to the deadline. This is the group, and the group right now is preparing for Dallas at the Link this Sunday at 4:25. Reaction continues around the NBA to the James Harden deal. 76ers dealt Harden, P.J. Tucker, and Philip Petrusev to the Clippers early Tuesday morning in exchange for 4 players and 4 picks, as well as a pick swap. Expectation around the NBA is the Sixers will use the assets acquired to pursue another star. As for the 76ers on the floor, they host the Raptors tomorrow night. Flyers back in action tonight at home against the Buffalo Sabres. Flyers trying to bounce back from back-to-back losses. You catch the live call right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Keep it locked here for all the latest news and information. I'm Ray Dunn, the home for the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic.
Tomorrow from 10 to 2, Andrew Salchunas will be live from Leah Corus Walk on the campus of Temple University. Don't miss big-time college football action when Temple battles Navy this Saturday at 2 p.m. at Lincoln Financial Field. Kids tickets are as low as $10 on game day. Visit owlstix.com.
When your check engine light goes on, you take it to the mechanic. But what happens when the check engine light goes on in the bedroom? Don't ignore it and think it's going to magically get fixed. Get Blue Chew. Blue Chew is the first chewable with the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but for a fraction of the cost. BlueChew.com has also taken out the hassle of having to go to the doctor. All you have to do is head to BlueChew.com and meet with a licensed medical professional. And then it's shipped right to your door in a discreet package. That way your kids won't know, your neighbors will have no idea, and while your nosy mother-in-law will be clueless, you won't be chewless. But Blue Chew isn't just for guys who are struggling to rise to the occasion. It's also for anyone looking to take their game to the next level. Blue Chew is so confident in their product that they have an unbeatable offer for Fanatic listeners. Head to BlueChew.com and enter the promo code Fanatic at checkout, and they'll send you your first month free. Just pay the $5 shipping. That's BLUE Chew.com, and don't forget to use the promo code Fanatic.
Hey, it's John Kincaid for the American Association for Cancer Research. And you know, as a 2-time cancer survivor that is soon hoping to make it a threesome, I know firsthand that donations supporting cancer research are the key to finding a cure. That's why I'm excited about the AACR's First Time Donor Match Challenge, and it runs through the end of the year. All first-time donators received today through December 31st will be matched for twice the impact. So no amount's too small. Every dollar counts twice during the challenge period. And your support helps propel the work of the next generation of people that are pioneering cancer research. Collaboration is critical to making new discoveries, diagnosing, treating, and one day curing cancer. So if you've never donated to the AACR, now's the perfect time because your dollars will go twice as far thanks to the AACR's First-Time Donor Match Challenge. Go to aacr.org/fanatic. That's aacr.org/fanatic and give what you can. I'm living proof that cancer research saves lives, and I'm hoping that the third time's a charm.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Hello, Avello. Hello, low fares. Do you know Avello Airlines? Did you know there's a new way to fly south for the winter? Avello is now flying out of Wilmington Airport with nonstop flights to over 10 cities, including 7 cities in Florida, Nashville, the Carolinas, San Juan, Puerto Rico. Gotta love it. Say hello to low fares, affordable parking, industry-leading reliability, and convenience. And with fares as low as $34 one way, why are you waiting? Fly Wilmington, fly Avello. And book your next trip at AvelloAir.com. That's AVELOAIR.com today.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Nothing slows my little girl down, except a stuffy nose. Mommy. That's why I use Sinex Children's Saline from Vicks. Sinex instantly clears mucus in everyday stuffy little noses with a gentle, ultra-fine mist designed for kids. Just Sinex? Breathe. Her stuffy nose is gone for now. And so is she.
Sinex Children's Saline. Sinex, breathe. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
With Black Friday appliance savings all month long at the Home Depot, we're making the holidays merrier by making holiday hosting easier with our lowest prices of the year on Whirlpool kitchen appliances. Get everything you need to store all your holiday favorites.
Dinner's ready.
And the leftovers. With top brand kitchen appliances at a great value. Save up to $2,300 on select kitchen packages, including top brands like Whirlpool with Black Friday savings at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
The weather this time of year is more unpredictable than my fantasy football team.
Wait 5 minutes and it'll change.
The weather or my team?
The weather. Your team stinks. I can't believe who you drafted in the first round.
A new system from Pierce Phelps will keep you comfortable no matter what the weather does. And right now, qualified buyers can enjoy 60 months interest-free financing on a new home comfort system. Visit nopaybryant.com to find a Delaware Valley dealer near you.
Bryant.
Whatever it takes.
When your team's best players have all been traded and the latest pick is overrated, just raise a glass with a friend or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. May your team be great and your picks be true, and if it falls apart, you'll know what to do. Just raise a glass with a fan or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. It's a crazy world, so what do? You tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. Hey! Tullamore Jew Irish Whiskey, 40% alcohol, William Grant & Sons Inc., New York.
Introducing a completely redesigned Dick's Experience, a reimagined sports destination with an expanded assortment of the latest apparel and footwear styles from Nike, Adidas, Kalia, and the North Face, and the best gear to improve your game, plus interactive experiences. Test your skills inside the HitTrax multi-sport cage or perfect your swing in our TrackMan golf simulator. Welcome to an entirely new next-generation Dick's. Grand reopening weekend, November 17th through 19th in Oxford Valley and Willow Grove.
Franklin Mint Federal Credit Union offers free checking without the fine print. That's right, straightforward and simple. Enjoy no minimum balance requirement, free online statements, free fraud monitoring services, and get an instant issue debit card. Open your free checking account at fmfcu.org/no fine print or at an FMFCU branch. Franklin Mint Federal Credit Union. Membership eligibility applies. Federally insured by NCUA.
Adam Schefter plays on one station in Philly, 97.5 The Fanatic.
1021, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Salchunas. 10 o'clock hour brought to us by Window Nation. Take advantage of Window Nation's 50% off sale on all style windows. Plus, make no down payment with no payments and no interest for 12 full months. Call 866-90Nation or visit windownation.com. The question of the day today is whether or not you still have that same energy as you usually do or used to for Cowboys week, right? It's Cowboys week. And I make no bones about it. I'm 29, right? So it's a little bit different for me. So Coach Gallo, Vinny Gallo checks in on Twitter. Thanks for ruining the buzz of Dallas week. To which I responded with, the only buzz is that the Eagles should win to improve to 8-1 and gain more ground on one of their division rivals. And here's the deal. Like, I'm 29. I started really paying attention to sports to what, 7, 8? So that's 2000s. What have the Cowboys done in my lifetime? Nothing. Choked. That's what they do every single year. They have choked or they have sucked. And the only reason why they're relevant is the national media, Stephen A. Smith doing the laughing videos, Skip Bayless is a Cowboys fan. Like, that's the only reason why they're really relevant. Seriously. They haven't done anything to gain relevancy. We're always looking, like, national media is always looking for that next big thing, right? Once LeBron's on the tail end, so they got to find the next big player, right? So they tried pushing it with Zion. And clearly Zion hasn't been great, so every time he dunks, it's like, oh, look at Zion, he's healthy. But then they're also still at the same time trying to find the next person. So now we find Victor Wembanyama, right? Like, that's the next big thing that they're going to market the hell out of because they need somebody to talk about. They do it with every sport. They try to find that next big marketable player or marketable team. And that was the 49ers going into the season. Everybody wanted to push the 49ers down our throats because they were a good football team and because they have the revenge. And, obviously there's still that Eagles angle. And there's the historic rivalry between the Niners and the Cowboys, too. So, it kind of fits into that mold. And now they're 5-3, and their quarterback looks like a mess. And so they're still going to try to push the Niners narrative until they have to go, oh, my God, what happened to the Niners, right? And then that's when the conversation will end. But the Cowboys talk is always there for the national media. And so on the week of Cowboys week, on the Wednesday of Cowboys week, yeah, I'm going to talk about it because that's who they're playing this weekend. That's who the Eagles are playing this weekend. Like, that's what I'm going to focus on the football Friday. That's what I'm going to focus on tomorrow when we start looking at the ins and outs of the matchup, the Eagles and the Cowboys, comparing the two teams. Our program director, Scott, sent me something that was being discussed on ESPN about Jalen Hurts versus Dak Prescott. We'll do that later on in the week. But I want to ask the question for you specifically, Eagles fans, and Cowboys fans too, because I see somebody that wants to talk about the Cowboys who is a Cowboys fan. Is that energy still there? I think it's still there for the Cowboys fans. You know why? Because we're Big Brother now, right? We're the team that has won. We're the team that has been relevant. We're the team that people talk about glowingly, for the most part, and you're the team that everybody makes fun of. I still love all the memes. I still love, like, the Cowboys fan starter pack meme. Like, I love all that stuff. I love still ripping the Cowboys. But I can't help myself but say it doesn't really mean as much to me as it did for you. And so this is a show for cross generations where we go, all right, the guys that are above me, in your 30s, in your 40s, in your 50s, want to hear from you. Does it still mean as much for you? Ray Dunn, now you're more in my boat. Good morning, Ray.
Good morning.
And you have a different kind of factor because you have a Giants family,
Yes.
Your mom is a Giants fan.
Correct.
I'm sure her family is filled with Giants fans. And so it's a little bit different for you when it comes to the team that you hate more because you have family ties. But you get what I'm saying. Like, since our beginning of enjoyment into sports, what has there been to really key in on, to go, that's why I hate the Cowboys?
Right, the game of consequence. Like the games of consequence have been regular season ones, and the ones that we really attach ourselves to have been Eagles, and they've been Eagles wins, and there's been times obviously we've been on the wrong end of it, but overall, the Cowboys haven't done anything. Like what? The closest they've been is Dez caught it. Like is that really what we're hanging our hat on?
And the Tony Romo fumble.
Yeah.
That could have gotten them in another round of the playoffs, but the Tony Romo fumble, that was another one.
Right, where it's okay, so they found a way to lose multiple times. There's not a lot of juice in what they've been able to accomplish. I've not seen them go to an NFC Championship game. So I don't have that level of jealousy, that level of anger against them where it's, we've been fighting right there with them and they've been able to have the success and we haven't. It's no, I've just seen the Eagles win a Super Bowl. I haven't seen you guys do anything. The only, I think it's a taught hatred. For us, it's just a taught hatred. It's we hate the Cowboys.
Right, because we're born and bred into it.
Right.
But other than that, there hasn't been anything. And so I'll tell you this story. So I was doing post-game for a couple of years here at the station. Now I'm doing pregame with Bob and Pat. And so it was January 8th, 2022. The Eagles are in the playoffs, right? And they played you and me at corner that day. They sat everybody. That was tough
for me.
That was the year where the Eagles ran the football to death and got into the playoffs and got beat up by the Buccaneers. But that final week of the regular season, they played the Cowboys. And so what did Nick Sirianni and the Eagles do? They decided to sit basically all the starters. And the Cowboys won 51-26. And I came in on here after the game, doing post game, and I was like, all right, whatever. Cowboys beat the Eagles. Playoffs coming up next. And this guy called in, Ray, so angry at me, so upset with me that I didn't understand the history of Eagles Cowboys. And, I can't believe this didn't piss you off. The Cowboys ran it down our throats. It's almost like the Buddy Ryan scab game, blah, blah. And I'm sitting there going, yeah, but the Eagles are in the playoffs next week. That's all I care about is the Eagles are in the playoffs. They kept their team healthy. And so what did they got beat up by the Cowboys? Shame on the Cowboys for running up the score, I guess, against, guys that weren't going to even be on the practice squad next week. They were literally picking guys up off the practice squad to play in that game that year. But this dude was so pissed off and so disappointed in me. I could hear it in his voice. I'm like, man, it doesn't mean anything to me at this point. It really doesn't. And that could be generational because of Eagles-Giants for us is bigger than Eagles-Cowboys in terms of the Giants actually having success. Or it could also be, hey, sports science, right? Sitting guys. Back in my day, they played every single minute, every single snap, all that kind of stuff.
Buddy wanted to kick the Cowboys' ass.
Right. I don't care if they went 2-14 as long as those 2 wins were against the Cowboys. I said this on the air a couple of years ago. That's one of the worst takes ever.
My Uber driver said that to me this week.
I'd rather them be 14-2 and both losses be to the Cowboys. I would rather be, or 15-2 nowadays. That's what I care about more. I care about winning, not just the Cowboys thing. And so I'm sorry to Coach Gallo and to anybody else who's probably sitting there going, wow, you really killed the buzz of Eagles-Cowboys week. What buzz is there other than the Eagles need to win to continue their chances of winning the NFC and winning the NFC East? That's all that matters to me. Has nothing to do with the star.
Oh, and it's true. My Uber driver said that exact thing to me this week. There's 2 games I care. They win a season. It's okay. Yeah, that's the way you feel. And he was of a generation above me, and I understand that. For that generation, the Montgomery touchdown is the thing that they held on to forever. That was their moment. That was pretty much the peak of Eagles fandom. That was the peak of their existence. We've reached a different peak. We've reached a new peak. And by the way, we've been the ones close to the mountaintop now for the better part of 25 years.
We're on the peak. The Cowboys are looking up.
The Cowboys are the ones trying to fight. The way this is built up this week is the Cowboys are trying to knock the Eagles off of the perch right now. That's the way this is built up. I understand for years it was the other way around, but I think that's why we don't see, we as a generation got fortunate, and we're very fortunate to see a Super Bowl young in life.
We've talked about this a lot.
On top of that, because we saw that, we don't have the same perspective of, we just have to go beat the Cowboys. Just have to beat the Cowboys. No, the goal is the goal. This week, obviously, I'm fired up for Dallas week, but that's a taught behavior. That's and you talk about my different world of fandom. Dad's an Eagles fan, mom's a Giants fan. There was one weekend a year or 2 weekends a year, really, where everyone came together. It was when, the Giants playing the Cowboys. Guess what? The entire house this week hates the Cowboys.
You hate the Cowboys,
right? Eagles playing the Cowboys. Guess what? Entire house this week hates the Cowboys. That was what it came down to in my household. So it was a taught thing where we just root against the Cowboys
And I'm not. And let me make this clear, because it seems like it always comes back to you younger kids, you don't respect your older generation. No, I do. Trust me, I do. I'm just telling you, in my generation, Ray's generation, here's the relevancy of the Cowboys play. So the top four hated guys, right? It was Troy Aikman, Dion, Michael Irvin, and Emmitt Smith, right? Like, those were your four hated guys. Those were, if you did a Mount Rushmore of Cowboys hate, for a lot of you, it was those four players. Troy Aikman has been America's Game of the Week color analyst in my lifetime, and now Monday Night Football. Michael Irvin has been the guy that needs a towel because he sweats every time he's on First Take, okay? Deion Sanders is the coach of Colorado. There's no, I hate Deion Sanders, dirty bird, all that kind of stuff. No, Deion Sanders is the Colorado football coach. And Emmitt Smith, I see him in commercials. Right? Like, that's my life. Emmitt Smith Cardinals before I think Emmitt Smith Cowboys.
Jimmy Johnson's the guy that's the analyst on Fox.
Right. Like, those guys, like, I don't feel the same vitriol as a lot of people that are older than us. So my question for you, it's not like, why do you hate the Cowboys? Because I know why you hate the Cowboys. The Cowboys beat up on the Eagles for years. Right, and we celebrate every time the Eagles won over the Cowboys. That's not my question. It's not, why do you hate the Cowboys? My question for you is, at this very moment, do you still have that same energy, that same vitriol toward Dallas? Because it really hasn't been anywhere close to what it was in the 90s. That's 30 years ago. 610-632-0975. Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Dave in Philly. What's up, Dave?
Hey, what's going on? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. What's up?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Hello.
Oh, yeah. So, he was asking about, like, he was asking about, like, is it still relevant, the Cowboys-Eagles thing?
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny to me because, like, Eagles fans try to downplay it so much. It's like y'all try to convince yourself. But every single week, y'all cheering and rooting for who we play against.
Well, of course, because we're in the same division.
When it's time for the one-on-one matchup, or it don't matter when we play each other. But it matters when we play everybody else. It's like,
no, again, we're in the same division, so of course I root for your team to lose because I want the Eagles to continue to get better and better and have more of a lead in the NFC East. I don't think that's crazy. And then when it is time to play, I've always kept the same energy. I don't have this, like, Cowboys vitriol, right? It's just they're in my division. I want the Eagles to win because I want the Eagles to win the division. That's plain and simple.
So, like, I say for me, as far as, like, when you say, like, does the environment still matter? I think it does, but it matters to me because, like, all season long when I'm watching football, no offense to you, you might be singled out. I got to hear y'all run your mouth about us all season long.
Yeah, because you guys suck.
There's nothing I want more in those two games to shut y'all up and have y'all with that dumb look on your face.
So you're the older generation of Eagles fans now. You're the, I don't care if we go 2-14 as long as those two wins are against the Eagles. You know why? Because your squad's been irrelevant since I've been a child.
No, that's not it. What I'm saying is, all year long, I just keep my eye focused on our schedule and who we play. And I know that no matter how much I argue with Eagles fans, it doesn't matter because we got to see y'all 2 times a week. And those 2 times a week, even if it's that 1 week when we beat y'all, 2 times a year, even if it's just that 1 week where we beat y'all, I get silenced because y'all silent then and y'all look dumb. That's all I'll be waiting for is for y'all to just finally be quiet. Eagles fans overtalk this thing so much. And it's like as soon as, like, we go on a debate and I start making a point, now I got to deal with we haven't won in 20-something years.
Oh, you haven't. You haven't. But you know what, Dave? You're one of these guys, I'm sure, that does the whole, where's your rings? Well, we finally got our ring. So now what? Where's your energy now?
I congratulated y'all when y'all got y'all win.
Well, I appreciate it.
Championship is hard.
Yeah, but Dave, you got to be honest. Like, you might be more grounded, but you know there's Cowboys fans that are calling in. Every time the Eagles lose, we get a call from a Cowboys fan. So you're saying, oh, you guys only care about who we're playing, and then when it's time for us to play each other, that's when you say you don't care. Man, when the Eagles lost to the Jets, I took calls from Cowboys fans.
That's the thing. I'm not dumb enough to laugh when y'all lose to somebody because I know we still got to deal with y'all. Or I know we still might have a game that week. And if we
especially because you're behind us in the standings. And I appreciate the call. Like, that's why. You're behind us in the standings. So go, Birds. Like, look, don't get me wrong. I'm sure there's somebody, oh, man, so what? Are you not going to get in the fights with Cowboys fans? No, of course I will. Screw them. They annoy the hell out of me. They really do. But I'm talking team specific, right? I've had this conversation with Ant, Ray. I'm sure you had the conversation with them too. There's no rivalry between Eagles and Giants fans. Maybe you and your household, right?
Yes.
But, like, I get it. Like, if I'm out at a bar and there's a Giants fan, like, there's no, like, intense back and forth. The Eagles-Cowboys thing's a little bit different, but I'm talking specifically the team. I don't see a Cowboys player who I'm like, oh, I freaking hate that guy. No. And I don't have that for the Giants right now either. I don't have that for the Commanders right now either. You know why? Because they're all beneath us. They all stink. The Eagles are the cream of the crop in the NFC East. I'm not saying ignore history. My question for you today at 610-632-0975 is, do you have that same energy going into this Eagles-Cowboys game as you have in years past? Because, yeah, in the past, of course there was reasons why to hate the Cowboys and individual players. Right now, who? Dak Prescott sucks. Their head coach is an idiot. I can't even hate the only thing that I hate about the head coach, it's kind of like the Bears yesterday. The Bears offended me. The Bears offended all of you by trading a second-round draft pick for a team that should rebuild to the Commanders for a guy who's going to be a free agent after the season. That should offend all of our football intelligence. The Cowboys offended me hiring that idiot of a head coach who won one Super Bowl in Green Bay because of Aaron Rodgers. But I don't hate him because he's the Cowboys head coach. I hate him because he's an idiot. Let's go to Michael in Lansdale. Michael, you're in the Fanatic.
Hey, good morning.
How you doing?
Really good. Like the show.
Thank you.
You guys are doing a great job.
Thank you.
You know, listen, I'm 68, so I remember when we were the underdog and we were just envious of how great Dallas was and we sucked.
Right.
But I should be skinny because every time I hear them called America's team, I want to throw up.
Yeah.
We're still talking about the snowball one idiot threw at Santa over 40 years ago. But there's so much violence at other stadiums you never hear about.
No, of course not.
Because we're passionate fans, and that becomes a newsworthy subject.
Yeah, and we react to it too, right? Like, it is our own fault. We do the whole no one likes us, we don't care. No, we care. We react to all of it.
Yeah, but that guy talking about how we run our mouths, Dallas fans are like the worst.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Great show. That's all I wanted to say.
All right, thank you, Michael. I appreciate it. So he hates Dallas. The comment section said he's 68. He hates Dallas, and he remembers those days. So back in the day, it was like a mentality of, I don't care if we go 2-14 as long as those 2 wins are against the Cowboys. You know why? Because the Eagles sucked. Right back, except for the Wilbert run. How many times have you heard, oh, man, you guys are so lucky because I remember the Eagles as the franchise that always lost. Yeah, because they sucked. And so you wanted those 2 wins. But nowadays, I want to go 14-2. And if I lose twice to the Cowboys, so be it. But 14-2, that's still a good enough record for me to win the NFC East and probably the NFC. And I'll have home field advantage in the 1 seed. That's what matters to me. There's just I don't know. When's the last time we saw an Eagles-Cowboys fight on the field? I'm trying to remember. We talked the other day in the vault. You played the Eagles at the time Redskins fight when Deshaun Jackson, the Chris Baker hit on Nick Foles. I remember that more than an Eagles-Cowboys brawl in recent years.
Yeah, I mean the hatred there, you hate the Cowboys. Like we said, you were taught to hate the Cowboys. The Cowboys came up while the NFL came up. Their first real run of prominence was while the National Football League was making its biggest grand entrance to the stage. The Eagles are able to beat them. They get the Montgomery touchdown, and then it's trying to chase that feeling, the Montgomery touchdown again, where
right.
It's we climbed the mountaintop to get where we wanted to go, and you didn't finish the job, but regardless, you climbed the mountaintop to get where you wanted to go, to be on the level that they were on the national stage,
right?
And you were chasing that feeling again. It's the reason why Buddy Ryan's still a legend in this town. Because he hated the Cowboys as much as you hated the Cowboys.
As much as you hated the Cowboys, and I get it.
And he's the ultimate epitome of the
But Nick Sirianni is a better head coach than Buddy Ryan.
Yes.
And far better. Not even close. Far better head coach than Buddy Ryan.
Yes.
Buddy Ryan may have been a defensive genius, but he wasn't a genius to put an offensive line in front of Randall Cunningham.
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 sides of the football. It's a big piece of this game. But so the point of that is he's a legend because you were chasing that feeling again. You felt like he was chasing that feeling with you again. And then the 90s happened. And then again, they're at the biggest stage. They're taking it over again. But since the 90s, you hate the old feeling. Like, you hate the old feeling of having to deal with the history in this matchup. You don't hate the actual Cowboy put in front of you. Like,
no.
You hate Tony Romo, but ultimately, were you ever believing that Tony Romo is going to go do the thing for them?
No.
You hate Dak Prescott, but do you believe Dak Prescott's going to go do the thing for them?
And the reason why we hate him was because of the Carson Wentz conversation. Well, Carson Wentz is gone.
Like, you hate T.O., but you hate what T.O. did to you. You hate what T.O. did to the Eagles. And the
I
fact
also
that
love T.O. the 1 year he was here.
Right. Like, there's so much you hate, but in terms of, like, chasing the standard, they have not been the standard. They have not been this pedestal of an organization for a long, long time. You're no longer chasing that. And that's what it was. You were chasing the standard. Like, you were chasing the team that was winning.
And the Eagles are now the standard that a lot of teams in the NFC want to be.
Right. And now the feeling is, I hate that they were once that. I hate that the history favors them.
Yeah.
And, you want to go win as many times as possible to erase how far the rings in front of you are. But to me, this is all a just taught hatred. Like, I don't find myself, that's it. It's Cowboys. I hate. And it's like, okay, I don't really like Diggs. But aside from that, this entire team, Michael Parsons wants to be an Eagle. Like, he can't make it more obvious that he loves Philadelphia. What he said this week makes it obvious he has Philadelphia on his mind all the time. Zeke's not there.
It's funny. So the last 11 games, I just quickly looked it up. The Eagles are 3-8 in the last 11 matchups with the Cowboys. To me, I look at that as, man, I hope they can make that 4-8 this week because you're ahead of them slightly in the standings. But since that 3-8 started, you've won a Super Bowl. You've gone back to another Super Bowl. You were an Alshon Jeffrey drop away from getting back to the NFC Championship game. You made the playoffs a couple of years ago with Jalen Hurts. You won the division that when you were 5-7, you finished 4 wins in a row, and the Cowboys choked. I go back in the last 11 matchups. Yeah, the Eagles are 3-8. That's not good. They need to be better. But in those 11 matchups, the Eagles have done so much more in terms of franchise success than the Cowboys. So I get it. Look, I'm not trying to bash, your hatred for the Cowboys from back in the day. But that hatred for the Cowboys right now, in terms of like this current head-to-head rivalry, it's not there anymore. I'm sorry to tell you. I'm sorry to, kill the buzz, as Coach Gallo said on Twitter. It's true. You might hate the star. I get it. You see the star, you hate him. But man, you take a step back, you just go, oh, wait. It really hasn't been that much of a rivalry. Yeah, they've beaten us up in the regular season, but in terms of overall success, it's been all Eagles. Does it taste a little sweeter when the Eagles beat the Cowboys? Of course it does. But it also tastes sweeter when you become 8-1 with a win this weekend. 610-632-0975. We'll continue the conversation. We have the Vault coming up at 11, and I got something on Halloween that I want to get into next. Right here, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
No deals on deadline day. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia is your game day headquarters. Pregame the Birds at the Ultimate Tailgate, steps away from the stadium. Join Bob Cooney, Andrew South Jr., and Pat Egan for the Fanatic pregame show. Every home game only at Live Casino and Hotel. The Eagles did make a trade on the NFL's trade deadline day. Trade deadline was yesterday at 4 p.m. The Eagles did trade away Kentavious Street in a 2025 7th-round pick for a conditional 2024 6th-round pick on Monday. Of course, they acquired safety Kevin Byard from the Titans last week. In terms of roster moves, a couple announced just about a half hour ago as the Eagles elevated wide receiver Julio Jones and opened up the practice window, the 21-day practice window for Cam Jurgens as they prepare for Dallas, and the Cowboys playing at the Link this Sunday, 4/25. Reaction continues around the NBA to the James Harden deal. 76ers dealt Harden, DJ Tucker, and Philip Petrusev to the Clippers early Tuesday morning in exchange for 4 players and 4 picks, as well as a pick swap. Expectation around the NBA is the Sixers will use the assets acquired to pursue another star. Sixers host the Raptors tomorrow night. Flyers back in action tonight at home against the Buffalo Sabres. Flyers trying to bounce back from back-to-back losses. You catch the live call right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. This update is also brought to you by Compassion International. Families in poverty are facing a global food crisis. $50 provides a food kit to feed a family for a month. Just text the word radio to 97646. Keep it locked here for the latest news and information. I'm Ray Dunn, the home for the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic.
The best show ever. Opinion and conversation on Philly's hot sports topics. Tyrone Johnson, Ricky Batalico, and Jennifer Scordo. This afternoon at 2. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Hey, it's Jen Scordo. Score early this NFL season with FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 money line bet. That's $150 if your team wins. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on all the action. The app is so easy to use. There's a huge range of betting options like spreads and player props, overs and unders, and a whole lot more. And oh boy, it's Dallas week. Philadelphia will host the Cowboys. There are so many options for you to choose from. You know, my favorite is to pick who's going to score first. Add in an anytime touchdown by your quarterback, and then the spread or the money line. Lots of pre-built same-game parlays are available as well. So you can score early by going to FanDuel.com/Scordo. That's FanDuel.com/Scordo. And definitely score early this NFL season with FanDuel, the official partner of the NFL.
21 plus and present PA. First online real money wager only. $5 pregame money line wager required. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, it's John Kincaid. You realize it's getting cold out, right? But it's not supposed to be cold inside your house. You realize that, right? Those old drafty windows, it's going to make your furnace work in overdrive this winter. So what do you want to do? Do you want to pay unnecessarily high energy bills? Of course not. You want to call Window Nation at 866-90Nation. And you want to check them out online at windownation.com because their energy-efficient windows are designed for climate changes, and they're going to help keep the cold out during the winter, and they're also going to help you lower your monthly energy costs by up to 30%. This month only. Check out this offer. Window Nation's offering 0% interest for 5 years. Are you kidding me? Nobody's doing this in business. That's 60 months interest-free. And get 2 free windows for every 2 that you buy. So you're protecting your family from the elements, you're lowering your energy costs, you're upgrading the look of your home, and you're feeling just so good about the deal you got from Window Nation. 5 years interest-free? That's nuts. Call 2 free windows for every 2 that you buy, but in November, that's 0% interest for 5 years. Call the company over 200,000 families have trusted with their home. Window Nation. Call 866-90Nation. Go to windownation.com. Tell them Kincaid sent you.
The holidays are here, and if you're making a list and checking it twice, let the Preferred Pros make that list shorter by checking off your home improvement projects. Whether you need experts to help keep your home cozy warm, remove the junk and clutter, or help to keep your holiday gifts safe, we have just the pros for you.
WM Henderson's expert plumbers are available with 24-hour emergency plumbing solutions. They arrive in their fully stocked trucks the same day, guaranteed, or it's free.
Hydroscape Pools, the area's fastest growing fiberglass pool builder, is Hydroscape Pools. Book now and swim next summer. Affordable financing is available, and most pools are completed in about 2 weeks. Schedule a free consultation at hydroscapepools.com today.
Great Railing offers the highest quality vinyl decking, fencing, and railing at discount prices on the Black Horse Pike in Williamstown or online at DallasSucks.com.
Check out Preferred Pros today. This paid program is sponsored by businesses highly rated by actual customers. For more details on Preferred Pros, visit 97.5thefanatic.com.
Hey, have you ever been ripped off? It sucks. Having a daily reminder of it is even worse. If you shave with a well-known big razor brand every morning, you might be thinking more about how much you paid for the blades than about how smooth your shave is. I'm Andy, the founder of Harry's. We give you a high-quality shave and an expertly engineered product for a fraction of the price that the big guys charge, with no compromises. They have 5 blades, Harry's has 5 blades. They have a lubricating strip, Harry's has a lubricating strip for extra glide. They have a trimmer blade, Harry's has a trimmer blade for the hard-to-reach areas. They charge up to $4 per blade. Our German-engineered blades cost as little as $2. Big brands charge higher prices because they can. Harry's keeps you in mind, focusing on high quality at a fair price. So stop rinsing cash down the drain every morning. Get a great shave for a fraction of the price with Harry's. Get a $13 trial set for just $3 at harrys.com/kickoff. That's harrys.com/kickoff.
O'Reilly Auto Parts' new Brake Best Select Pro brand raises the bar for the best aftermarket domestic brake pads and rotors available. For vehicle-specific friction formulations, Quiet-Tech noise-canceling shims, and stainless steel hardware, choose Brake Best Select Pro. Professional-grade brakes from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? Because only the Sleep Number Climate 360 smart bed lets you each sleep up to 13 degrees cooler or warmer on either side, while you both sleep at your ideal level of firmness, comfort, and support, your Sleep Number setting. And now our all-new next-gen smart beds have temperature benefits, so you sleep better night after night. And now the new Queen Sleep Number C2 smart bed is only $8.99. Ends Monday. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Harris Philadelphia wants to give you more for your play with 3 times comp dollars on table games. Play your favorite games like blackjack, craps, and roulette and earn comps 3 times faster than ever. That's 3 times the comps for free casino play, dining, entertainment, hotel stays, and more. Use your comps at Harris Philly or save them up to use at any Caesars Rewards destination. Get to Harris Philly and on the tables to start earning. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When the water or wastewater pump system in your building goes down, count on Pumpman Philly to put the go back in your flow. Managers for Philly's municipal, commercial, and industrial facilities count on the experts at Pumpman Philly for troubleshooting, emergency repair, maintenance, and pump system replacements. You can't always predict pump failures, but you can be prepared for them if you save Pumpman Philly's number in your phone right now. 833-559-PUMP. That's 833-559-PUMP. Or online at pumpmanphilly.com.
Hey guys, Andrew, inviting you to join me for 3 days in sunny Clearwater for the spring training trip of a lifetime with Philly Sports Trips. Oh, I love this. We had a blast last year, so get your deposit in now and reserve your seats. We're staying at the beautiful AC Hotel in Clearwater, heated pool, beautiful beach, and center of the action with a direct flight on Friday from frigid Philly to the first of 2 that night. 2 games, 3 days, and back home on Monday. This is the spring training weekend you can't miss. Go to phillysportstrips.com now and reserve your spot with a small deposit. phillysportstrips.com.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station. Official home of the Sixers, Flyers, Union, and the best Eagles talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic.
10:52, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Salchunas. Got the vault coming up at 11 o'clock. Eagles Cowboys week. My question for you today, start the show at 610-632-0975, is do you still have that same energy of hatred toward the Cowboys? Because I've never really had it, other than what I was born and raised into. But for me, the Cowboys have been basically irrelevant other than talk shows. Right? Like sports radio has made the Cowboys relevant in my life. The talking shows of Screamin' A and Skip Bayless, like they have made the Cowboys relevant. But in terms of doing anything as a franchise, since I really started focusing on sports 23 years ago, they haven't really done anything. And so somebody that my wife works with, I remember he was asking about what's going on at the station, what's the deal? And, he goes, I've been impressed with him. He seems to really know his history. And I was worried about that at the beginning because he's only 29 and he doesn't know the pain that I've felt because he's in his 50s or 60s. So it's like he doesn't know the pain that I've felt and blah, blah. Which, yes, I haven't known the pain of sucking. But I've known the pain of losing in championships. I mean, look at just last year. It doesn't matter how old you were. We all felt the pain of losing in the championship game in the MLS, obviously in the World Series. The Sixers completely, falling apart in Game 6 and Game 7. It doesn't matter how old you are. You feel that pain. But I remember one of the things he said to my wife was, so, when it comes to, the Eagles-Cowboys stuff, how does he feel? And he knew that answer because I've already talked about it on the air. He's like, because Eagles-Cowboys means a lot to a lot of us. I know it does. But all I'm saying is, in my lifetime, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful whatsoever, the only team I'll be disrespectful toward is the Cowboys, but I'm also just being real. In my lifetime, they are irrelevant. I know history. I know, Tom Landry, right? I know all this stuff. Playbacks, vaults, reading, YouTube, all that stuff. I know history, but I don't have the same feel as a lot of you do. I can't help that because of my age. Sorry that my parents had sex later than your parents. My bad. I'm sorry that my parents were kids when your parents had sex. Like, my bad. Like, it's not my fault. I didn't pick what year to be born. It just happened. My swimmer won. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I know. It's not my fault. So, Eagles-Cowboys just doesn't mean as much to me as a lot of you. But my question, I want you to really think about this. And I can't wait to get to VT Ron, because I know VT Ron's a vet when it comes to this stuff. Do you still feel the same hatred or energy? Like, you wake up this morning, are you going, oh, we're another day closer. Another day closer, Eagles-Cowboys. Like, do you really still feel that? I'm honestly questioning it. 610-632-0975. Speaking of generations and eras, right, I have a question for you in the audience. Based off of Halloween last night, what is the best era of your life for Halloween? Because I thought about this yesterday. Obviously, when you're a kid, like, you dress up, you go door to door to get candy. Can I tell you how much I enjoyed last night? So Cooper goes to bed at between 6:30 and 7. Damn, my town, they start Halloween at 3:30. I'm giving out candy at 3:30 in the afternoon. But anyways, he goes to bed. Man, I didn't want the ringing the doorbell, dog barking, baby crying, so we set up the thing out front. Fold-up table. Me and Christy, we had the baby monitor on. 2 fold-up chairs, bucket of candy. I had a fire pit going behind me. Had a cooler of beer. Hey, you want one? Here you go. Man, maybe it's because I was in the moment. I freaking loved that last night. And I think I liked it more last night than I did as a kid running up door to door. But there's another era, as you also know. The college era is a lot of fun. And has nothing to do with candy, giving it out or getting it. It's just the costumes. There's a lot of cats roaming Temple. A lot of bunnies. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
A lot of skin. Yeah. So the college era of Halloween might be number one, but I like the current era I'm in right now.
And I'll say, I'll enjoy my early 20s era of Halloween as well.
Yes, it continues.
Yeah, I think this is a solid. My Halloween was a good time. So I think I'm going to go with, if I have to pick an era, it's fun running around getting candy.
Yeah,
I enjoy this.
I think college era Halloween greater than post-college going out Halloween.
See, I'm tough.
Like, I enjoyed going to a frat party, and,
I'm tough to have this conversation with because my Halloweens were kind of marred in the COVID era of college.
That's right. Yeah,
so
that's right. I'm
sure they were fantastic. We had a good enough time during that, but it was just totally different.
Well, it's crazy because as we talk about that, you're going to have a lot of COVID things.
Yes.
Like our college experiences were far different.
Correct.
So you're now kind of living your life to the fullest post-college because of it. Like, when I graduated college, we would have house parties but it wasn't the same. You know what I mean? Like, it would be, you knew the people that were coming over. There was something to go into a party at college, not knowing the people and going, nice little rabbit over there. It's a nice cat.
Weekend's a good time, man.
Yeah. So I think, to me, college era Halloween number one. This might be number two. The status of life I'm in now, because soon I'll be walking with Cooper house to house. It's exhausting. It's going to be lighting him up his day, and he's going to be happy, and that's going to be great. I prefer sitting on my driveway and say, "Come here, kid. Get your Reese's cup," as I'm drinking a beer.
We can pull this audio, and I can guarantee you, in a few years, you're going to love that era of it too. As exhausting as it sounds to you right now, I can guarantee you're going to find a way. You're going to get the little Yeti out. You'll be having a nice little sip.
I'll find a way.
Yeah, you'll enjoy that era too, I think. But yeah, if you're asking me best ones, recency bias.
Okay.
Join this one.
This is a show of cross generations today. Eagles, Cowboys, the energy you feel toward the Cowboys nowadays, how you used to feel, how you feel now, and then the Halloween era. I got to know, what is the best era when it comes to Halloween? I'm sure at some point in life you're going to be tired of it. I love it right now. And I think I liked it more than when I was a kid, when I was actually getting the candy, and I was the fat kid. You would think, Halloween would be oh my God, get a sack full of candy here, man? As the fat kid? That's awesome. Well, I like being the guy with the beer in the driveway. But college era Halloween's still number one because, people got wild. Let's go to VT Ron. What's up, Ronnie? VT. You got me on mute, VT. This is a very important call, VT. Jeez. All right, we'll put him on hold. Let's go to Lewis on the cell, and then we'll get to the vault. What's up, Lewis?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Hey, with the Halloween stuff, I got to tell you, I'm enjoying and I think it might be recency bias, too. I'm taking my 3-year-old and infant around. They're going door to door, loving life. They're all dressed up, and the neighbors love seeing it, and it just brings, as a father, it brings a big smile to me.
Okay, so you think the early stages of childhood, as a parent, that's like the heyday for you?
I think so. Again, it's recency, so I haven't gotten to see as they've gotten older what it's like, walking around with an 8 and 10-year-old yet. But,
yeah.
At 4 and an infant, it's definitely fun watching them.
I got you. Because, I had such a good time last night. It's an excuse to be outside. Had the fire pit. I ordered pizza, got dropped off, had the pizza, behind me, had the cooler of beer. My neighbors were also sitting outside, so we swapped, be like, hey, you want a drink? And, we were swapping beers, and my one neighbor made sangria, which is nice. I like that more than actually going door to door.
No, I agree. That's nice, and especially if you have a good relationship with your neighbors. You guys all go out and, you have fun. You have an agreement with everybody, that the kids are all getting candy together, and, you're splitting time. So, that's nice, too.
Yeah, it is. Now, what do you got on this Eagles-Cowboys rivalry for me, Lewis?
So, I'm 32, and I remember 10 years ago hating the Cowboys. But I think and I just had this conversation with a buddy of mine. We don't have anybody left there to hate.
Yep.
Back 10 years ago, you think, all right, we hated Tony Romo. I don't know why we hated Tony Romo, but we did.
Because he was the Cowboys quarterback. That's why you hated Tony Romo. We hate Dak Prescott because he's the Cowboys quarterback. But Dak Prescott stinks. Tony Romo didn't do anything, and now he's just annoying on CBS. The guys that you hated the most were Irvin and Sanders and Emmitt Smith and Troy Aikman. You know why? Because they won. That's why you hated them.
No, see, I disagree with you, and that's before my time. They're too young. They're too old for me to really remember at the age of 32, right?
Okay.
So the guys I hated were actual hateable guys. I hated Greg Hardy. He was just the scum of the...
Well, and he's also a terrible human being, right? I would have hated Greg Hardy if he played for the Denver Broncos. You know what I mean? He was just a terrible human being.
Exactly. But because he played for Dallas, it brought that extra level.
Yeah, because we know that the Cowboys, it seems like they're not afraid to sign anybody. And I appreciate the call, Lewis. I really do. I'm glad you had a good time with your kids yesterday going door to door. That's nice. But yeah, Greg Hardy, I would have hated him if he played for Seattle. He was an awful human being. It's just so happened that he also played for the Cowboys. We'll continue the conversation. I see VT Ron's good to go now, so I want to get to him coming up, but it's time now for the vault.
When we began opening this vault nearly 2 hours ago, we had no real idea what we'd find inside. As it turns out, we haven't found very much.
Vault presented by Golden Nugget Jewelers, where Philly gets engaged. Ray, what do we got today in the vault?
All right, we got some anniversaries, and pretty much just anniversaries and ways to celebrate them in different ways today. So I want to start with the one most pertinent to Philadelphia, most pertinent to us. This day in 1996, the Core State Center opened up, and it opened up with a debut of a future Hall of Famer. That would be one, Allen Iverson. So let's get you the beginning of the call of that game and then the first bucket, which I totally call this a blank on my history knowledge. How he got his first bucket, totally forgot how that happened.
John Thompson is here tonight. Iverson, the #1 pick last June, when he turned 21 years of age at even 6 feet, 165 pounds. Raw lightning. Wait till you see him play. And the revolution is underway, and for the first time this season, we're running. And so is Iverson. Iverson hungry for the goal. There he goes, looking for the slam, and counting. It's going to be the first 2 points of the career of Allen Iverson by way of a goaltend against the Bucks. Score 2 for the rookie. The crossover move, taking it up.
The only reason why I remember doing that was I did a vault of like Iverson. I think it was the anniversary of getting into the Hall of Fame or something, so I did a bunch of Iverson stuff. That's the only reason why I knew that. But yeah, goaltend for his first basket.
And he was pressing to get that first bucket.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, in this
vault
he
cut. Pressed like that for the rest of his career, too.
Right. Fair. Absolutely. But just watching him back today, like, my goodness, he was always trying to score, but it was certainly like get the ball, get the bucket. But yeah, so they opened up the center that night. The center, they had to delay the game because the show before, like the way they opened it up with the anthem and everything, too much smoke.
Oh, really?
So I didn't remember that. The start was delayed. So the open of the game, because the NBA, I think it was one of their COVID playbacks where they were, re-airing old games on YouTube.
Yeah.
They start the broadcast with Zoom off apologizing to everyone for the delayed start to the game because of the smoke from the show.
All right, random Temple story.
Okay.
That again, you didn't get this.
No.
Shame because of your COVID experience.
Correct.
So every year at the beginning of the school year, they would do a opening act or something. I'm sure you guys had something like that.
Yeah, like the first day.
Yeah, so we had Aziz Ansari do a comedy skit, but the year before was Wiz Khalifa.
Wow.
And Wiz was at the Liacouras Center. And there was a lot of marijuana inside the Liacouras Center.
At a Wiz concert?
To the point where they had to get fancy vacuums the next day or two to get it out of the building. Yeah, there was a lot of people enjoying the Wiz Khalifa concert.
As
second-hand high was legit that day, let
sure.
alone first-hand. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, so a little fun fact of other smoke issues.
They should have a banner at the Liacouras Center. That's what I'll fight for. We get the Wiz banner. You'll be there tomorrow. You can bring it up to them.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. I'll be there tomorrow.
That's right. All right. Now, moving along from that, anniversary today, 1951. Brooklyn Dodgers catcher Roy Campanella wins first of 3 MVPs. Now, why am I bringing up Roy Campanella? Philadelphian, Simon Gratz High School. There's a story of how he ended up becoming a catcher that I found that I think is pretty funny.
Once asked him, how did you become a catcher? I became a catcher, said Roy, when I was in high school. And the coach said on our first day of trying out, go to the position you want to cover. So he said, I ran to the outfield, and there were 70 guys in left and 60 in center and 50 in right, and I looked behind home plate, and there was nobody. He said, as fast as my little legs could waddle me, I became a catcher.
I respect it because I did that one. Tried out for West Effort Legion. First base, there's nobody there. Well, it's a good way to get on the team. It's going to first base. I didn't play first base. I pitched, I caught, I played outfield, played second. There's nobody there at first base. I later found out that the reason why nobody was there at first base was there was a kid that was already on the team because he was already playing college ball. Made the team, which was nice. Didn't play first base, though.
No, but I think everyone can relate to that story.
Yeah,
at some point,
you look at the position, you're like, all right, that's the one where there's least amount of people. I'm going there.
Yes.
And hey, good for him. 3-time MVP.
Right.
Pretty impressive.
Ends up making it to the bigs. No big deal there. But yeah, I'll start Simon Gratz High School in Philadelphia. So there you go. Also, this just became a heavy Dodgers thing because I found some interesting things with Dodgers. But today is the time that Sandy Koufax became the first 3-time winner of the Cy Young Award back in 1966. I found some old interview of Duke Snider, Mickey Mantle, and Willie Mays talking about facing both Koufax and Don Drysdale in an interview.
I had to pick one guy, the last guy you'd want to see in a game. Who would it be?
He didn't have to hit against my two. My two were Koufax and Drysdale. I think they're the...
Who you think I had to hit against?
I didn't say you, I said him.
I thought you were talking about me.
No, I wouldn't give anything to be you.
I was on the ground half the time. I don't know. That's why I couldn't hit. How about you, Duke?
Well, Koufax never did knock you down, I know.
He didn't have to. I never seen the ball.
Koufax would have been as mean as Drysdale. Nobody could ever hit.
We never came close to him. No.
But Don, he's a good friend of mine, right?
I guess.
I mean, me and him are close, like that. But he used to come around, like, before the game, he'd punch me. And, when he's pitching that day before the World Series or an All-Star game or something, he'd punch me around. He said, where would you like to have one today? He thought it was funny to hit you. I'm not kidding.
I'll tell you about Drysdale. He got the word from the bench to walk Frank Robinson intentionally one day in the Coliseum in Los Angeles. And he says, why waste 4? So I hit him with the first pitch.
That's good. Sandy Koufax. That's a good Sandy Koufax story right there.
So Willie Mays saying that he couldn't see the ball from Sandy Koufax is a nice indication of just how...
because Willie Mays, incredible baseball player.
Right.
One of the greatest of all time. Yeah.
And them also saying that if Koufax was as mean as Drysdale, he would have been better, which is crazy to think about.
Koufax was a nice man.
And Drysdale just wanted to put one in your side at least once a game.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a little bit different nowadays, but I appreciate that. All right. Was that the vault?
Oh, yeah, one more for you, but
we
could cut this one for time. It's the Titanic's...
movie sucked.
Yeah, well, okay, this is the question here, because I didn't want to get you anything from that
No, she's
that
a
movie.
bitch.
So
She's a bitch. Rose is a bitch.
So Leo, there's an interview where, she does, quite literally.
Immediately.
Leo did an interview where he doesn't comment on it. They showed Kate Winslet that, and she then said that the reason that he doesn't get on the door is because they would not be able to float. It would become unstable, and they wouldn't be able to stay on it, thus sinking. It would not be able to stay afloat. That's why he can't get on the door.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Bull. BS. Here's the deal. You could have tried. How'd you know? You're freezing. You are freezing, man. You think your brain's operating to the point of, physics. Well, if we both get on here, it's going to sink. No. Just try.
Then you go out together.
Just try.
Because you never let go.
But, no, I get it. Like, I understand it. Love, you let her keep going. I understand it. But, you first try it. Didn't even try. It was just, I'm going to die. You stay on. Give it a shot. I'll never let go. My ass. You let go immediately.
Also, what a long movie.
Yeah.
That movie, we can cut out
I don't want to disrespect the movie, but I disrespect
a long movie.
Rose.
It's a very long movie.
Come on, Rose. 610-632-0975, the number to climb in. We'll continue this Eagles-Cowboys conversation. My question for you, does the rivalry still mean as much to you today as it did in yesteryear? We got Matt Breen coming up at 11:30. We'll talk to him about it as well. All right here, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Birds, stand pat. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by Unbound.org. A girl in Kenya dreams of becoming a doctor. An elder in Guatemala dreams of being part of a community. Reach out and change their world, and it will change your own. Unbound.org. Eagles didn't make a trade in the NFL's trade deadline day, as the deadline was yesterday at 4 p.m. The Eagles did trade Kentavious Street in the 2025 7th-round pick for a conditional 2024 6th-round pick on Monday. And, of course, they acquired safety Kevin Byard last week from the Titans. In terms of roster moves, today there were some as the Eagles elevated wide receiver Julio Jones to the active roster and opened up the 21-day practice window for Cam Jurgens. This all comes as the Birds prepare for Dallas at the Link this Sunday at 4:25. Reaction continues around the NBA to the James Harden deals. The 76ers dealt Harden, P.J. Tucker, Philip Petrusev to the Clippers early Tuesday morning in exchange for 4 players and 4 picks, as well as pick swap. Expectation around the NBA is that the Sixers will use the assets acquired to pursue another star. They host the Raptors tomorrow night. Flyers back in action tonight at home against the Buffalo Sabres tonight. Flyers trying to bounce back from back-to-back losses. You catch the live call right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Keep it locked here for all the latest news and information. I'm right on the home for the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic.
The Philadelphia Flyers play here. Coming up tonight, Tim Saunders has the play-by-play. Your home for the Flyers is 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
When your check engine light goes on, you take it to the mechanic. But what happens when the check engine light goes on in the bedroom? Don't ignore it and think it's going to magically get fixed. Get Blue Chew. Blue Chew is the first chewable with the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but for a fraction of the cost. BlueChew.com has also taken out the hassle of having to go to the doctor. All you have to do is head to BlueChew.com and meet with a licensed medical professional. And then it's shipped right to your door in a discreet package. That way your kids won't know, your neighbors will have no idea, and while your nosy mother-in-law will be clueless, you won't be chewless. But Blue Chew isn't just for guys who are struggling to rise to the occasion. It's also for anyone looking to take their game to the next level. Blue Chew is so confident in their product that they have an unbeatable offer for Fanatic listeners. Head to BlueChew.com and enter the promo code Fanatic at checkout, and they'll send you your first month free. Just pay the $5 shipping. That's BLUEChew.com, and don't forget to use the promo code Fanatic.
This is the lunch rush at your local deli. Orders are flying in. Online, on the phone, and in person.
Order for Nick.
So is it possible that fast internet could help your business outrun the rush? It is with Comcast Business. Up-leveling your speed with gig speed Wi-Fi, powering all your devices, and fast downloads and uploads, powered by the next generation 10G network. With Comcast Business, next level speed isn't just possible, it's happening. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with fast speeds and advanced security for $39 a month for 12 months with no annual contract. Plus, ask how to get up to a $600 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Call or go online to learn more. Ends 11/12/2023. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and automatic payments. New 50 megabits per second internet and security edge customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Gig Wi-Fi requires gig internet and compatible router.
Imagine it's the last ride, but your symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, are taking you for a ride. What should you do? Keep managing your constipation with belly pain the same old way? Or try getting ahead of your symptoms by talking to your doctor about treating it with Linzess, linaclotide. Linzess is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually.
Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling.
Imagine, what could relief from IBS-C mean for you? Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
The holidays are here, and if you're making a list and checking it twice, let the Preferred Pros make that list shorter by checking off your home improvement projects. Whether you need experts to help keep your home cozy warm, remove the junk and clutter, or help to keep your holiday gifts safe, we have just the pros for you.
From cold showers to clogged drains, Horizon's highly trained expert plumbers are there when you need them with 24-hour emergency plumbing solutions.
The ultimate destination for relaxation and beauty is closer than you think. Visit Joseph Anthony Retreat Spa and Salon in Glen Mills, Springfield, and Center City, just for you.
Liberty Safes of New Jersey is the best safe selection in the tri-state. Showrooms at Route 130 in Bordentown or Route 73 in Mount Laurel or online at libertysafesnj.com.
Check out Preferred Pros today. This paid program is sponsored by businesses highly rated by actual customers. For more details on Preferred Pros, visit 97.5thefanatic.com.
If that sound gives you nightmares, there's a cheap and easy way to avoid engines not firing. Stable, America's #1 fuel stabilizer, ensures quick and easy starts after storage. Stable's proprietary formula keeps fuel fresh for 2 years, outperforming competitors. Pour Stable in your gas can or directly into the tank of your car, truck, hybrid, boat, ATV, motorcycle, or lawnmower to prevent fuel-related engine problems that cost time and money. When you store, start with Stable.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Don't be impressed when you hear someone settle their case for what may seem like lots of money. $500,000 seems like lots of money until you learn they lost both legs, had a brain injury, or were paralyzed and can never work again. All law firms are not the same. To see what your case may be worth, go to forthepeople.com and look at our verdicts and settlements for cases just like yours. Look before you leave. Hire the right lawyer. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Who should you trust your family's comfort to? The Kincaids choose H&H Heating and Air Conditioning, DelcoHVAC.com. And right now, for a limited time, visit DelcoHVAC.com and schedule a gas furnace tune-up for only $79. It includes a free carbon monoxide check. So if you need a new system, you can ask about special financing or up to $1,200 in rebates on qualifying systems, subject to credit approval. See the dealer for details. H&H Heating and Air Conditioning. We trust them. They're an independent trained dealer. They do great work. Find them online at DelcoHVAC.com. That's DelcoHVAC.com.
Hey guys, it's Andrew. Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia is your game day headquarters. Pre-game the Birds at the ultimate tailgate, just steps away from the stadium with me and my guys Bob Cooney and Pat Egan for the FanDuel pregame show. Enjoy food specials at the new Junebug Barbecue, sip on refreshing drink specials, play trivia and cornhole contests to win awesome prizes and giveaways. Plus, don't forget to make your game picks each week for the chance to win your share of $300,000. Game days only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for details. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLE.
Philadelphia sports. It's a family thing. 97.5 The Fanatic.
11:20, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Salchunas. Matt Breen joining the show coming up in 10 minutes, so we'll speak to him at 11:30. I just saw Robert Grussman walk by wearing his Temple hoodie. To you, baby. Speaking of which, I'll be broadcasting live from Temple's campus tomorrow, right outside of Maxie's. Can't wait. I'll probably get a General Tso's slice of pizza and maybe a beverage. And so, yeah, if you're a Temple student, you're listening, I'll be there tomorrow. So stop on by, say hi. I love going back to campus. It's a big Temple week because I'm going to the campus tomorrow, do the show, and then Saturday I'm going to Temple Navy. Temple Navy at the link. Looking forward to it. Got Temple hoops tipping off soon, both men's and women's. So,
big doubleheader Monday.
If you're in the area, if you're in the Temple area, stop on by. We'll be there tomorrow doing the show. All right, we'll get back to the calls because we're talking about the Eagles-Cowboys rivalry and whether or not it means as much as it used to. I'm not ignoring the fact that it meant a lot for a lot of people back in the day, but it doesn't mean as much for me as it does for a lot of people that are an older generation, right? So this is a show of generations today. M from the Northeast checks in. He's 73. That's my guy, M. I've been talking to him since he called in the first time he ever called in. I'm 7 years old. What do you want to know? So now he's 73. It's good to keep track. He goes, I'm 73. Buddy Ryan was a bum, and the Cowboys are just a divisional game, just like the Commanders. Wow. I appreciate that from M. Because he looks at it a little bit differently. Now, I know VT Ron still hates the Cowboys with a burning passion. What's up, VT Ron?
I hate him with a passion. Andrew, how you doing, buddy?
I'm great. How are you, man?
I finally pulled the ice pick out of my eye. Now I'm watching the World Series, and the ice pick is going back in the eye. What can I tell you?
I can't watch it. Can I tell you something? I will be petty as petty can be. I'm thrilled that the ratings are in the toilet. I'm thrilled.
They are. And I guess I like baseball. And, hey, American Legion, you played for West Deptford in the Legion ball?
Yeah.
That area there, man, that South Jersey Legion ball with Bridgeton and everything, that was strong.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was competitive, and we had a nice stadium field, but it had stadium seating. It was cool. Yeah, I loved playing.
I have a new acquired liking for you that you played ball at West Deptford.
Yeah,
Legion ball.
Yeah,
awesome. Hey, listen, it's generational. You and Ray don't understand what I understand. When we were down and Dallas used to kick us in the butt, the thing that I hated more than anything, not so much getting our asses kicked, was the guy who grew up on 9th and Catherine, and he wears the star, and he comes up to you and starts ragging at you too.
Right.
They're the kind of guys. That's where the disdain is.
I get that, and I'm not asking about why you hate the Cowboys or anything like that. My question is, today, is it still the same as it used to be for you?
For me, Andrew, it is because of everything that has happened generationally to me. Don't forget, I've been a season ticket holder since 1983. I've seen a lot of ball.
Right.
And I've seen a lot of Dallas games, and I've heard a lot of Dallas fans. And I think that will never go away. Does my daughter and grandkids have the same appreciation for it? No, they're probably more like you because you really haven't seen the Dallas team come out and really snooker the Eagles,
Right.
And that's what you haven't seen. But I have, and it's still in my crawl. And the other thing is, you asked about somebody that's still around. I can't stand Jerry Jones. Can't stand him.
Right.
Cannot stand him. And if he can lose every game, too bad.
Yeah, but you know what? I kind of appreciate Jerry Jones. You know why? They've been irrelevant for 23 years, and a lot of it's because of him too.
Andrew, that's great. And with that, I can't top that because that was the best one ever. But I think you do. It's great that you understand the generation.
I do. And look, I was born and raised to hate the Cowboys. So it's not like I'm sitting here saying, I don't hate the Cowboys. I don't feel any hatred toward them. Like when I see the star, I feel a certain type of way. And thanks for the call, Ronnie. I appreciate it as always. But in my lifetime, they've been irrelevant. So I don't have that same burning passion that VT Ron's talking about a kid from his childhood. Yeah, you know what? When I got on the bus, when I was a kid, there were a lot of Cowboys fans in my neighborhood. It was the weirdest thing. You know why? Well, my dad's a Cowboys fan, right? There's a lot of Cowboys fans where I grew up too, and that was Mullica Hill, New Jersey, right? I'm in South Jersey, man. I got kids wearing Cowboys jerseys all over the place. It's gone now, man. Even those kids have grown out of it. A lot of those kids have, and it's fraudulent, but a lot of those kids have grown out of it and are now Eagles fans because they realize, Yeah, all right, my dad made me root for them, and now I realize, like, it's weird to not root for the team in the city that I'm from, and, oh, by the way, the Eagles are better. It's kind of fraudulent that you jump shit, but whatever. If I tell you that the Eagles are playing the Cowboys this weekend, I go, the Eagles are in first place, and they need to win another game to get another game ahead of the team that's in second place. It has nothing to do with Cowboys, Giants, Commanders. It doesn't matter who. I just want to be another game up ahead of the team that's in second place, and it so happens to be the Cowboys. I mean, hell, do you hate Stephon Gilmore? No. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't even hate Micah Parsons.
This feels like the Seinfeld bit of just hating laundry. Like, you just hate the shirt. Like, I at this point, it's just a shirt to me. The people don't really matter. I am upset with the shirt. I'm upset with the clothing. That's what I'm upset with. I mean, Diggs kind of rubs me the wrong way, but other than that, the rest of them, I
don't like Diggs because I think he's overrated.
And I think that's why it is. Like, I think he almost fits with the rest. Like, he
had double-digit interceptions or close to it, but he also gave up a ton of air yards.
He's got the shirt, and he also is overrated. Like, it's like a combination of things. So, and yeah, because he's a Cowboy, he gets more love. Like, there are plenty of corners in the league that would get more love if they played on the Cowboys.
Yes.
Like, they were talking about it the other night. I think it was Monday Night Football. They're talking about, Max Crosby, if he played here, there, the other, like, maybe he would get, more shine. Like, it's just the fact of where they play. The fact that Cowboys get more love because they play in Dallas makes no sense when you understand the last 25 years of their history.
Quick NFL note, by the way, before we get back to the calls, and Matt Breen joins us at 11:30. Trade deadline happened yesterday. Eagles didn't make any other moves. Just to let you guys know, Julio Jones, by the way, officially on the active roster. That was the Condavious Street move, was to basically free up that roster because Julio Jones still wasn't on that total everyday active roster. They were calling him up from the practice squad, and I see it on the screen. I don't know if you typed that up or if Dylan typed that up or if Silvana typed that up. But yeah, the Raiders are benching Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy G is benched. They're starting rookie Aiden O'Connell. And obviously the Raiders, they fired McDaniel yesterday. They fired the GM. And Ian Rappaport texted a Raiders source, why are you making this move? And the response was, he's our best quarterback. Jimmy Garoppolo's always sucked, man. He just played on a system where he didn't have to do all that much in San Francisco. Same with Brock Purdy.
Now, big question. Does he lose his lifetime pass to all the Vegas strip clubs that he was given when he went there? Do you remember that story?
Yeah, it's a good question. Probably. Yeah. He might get stripped of it.
Yeah.
Strip club, stripped of it.
That was good.
He might get stripped of it.
But, yeah, future Tom Brady now lost his job to Aiden O'Connell. So, there you go. How about that?
How about it?
And Josh McDaniels is once again a fraud. I don't know how many times we have to teach the NFL this lesson. Whoever gives him his next job, you're asking for.
He's going back to Bill Belichick.
Will he have a Billy to go back to?
That's a good point. Yeah, he might get fired, too. Let's go to Joe in West Effort. Joe, you're on the Fanatic.
Yo, what's going on, fellas?
What's up, Joe?
Nothing much. Just calling in to talk about the Birds-Cowboys rivalry, and I agree with you in ways that it's not really the same. I'm a young buck. I'm only 22. Was born in 2001, so. But kind of like you, I grew up hating the Cowboys. Every time the Birds played at home against the Cowboys, I was tailgating with my dad.
You were raised to hate them, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But there's stuff when you move out of the house. Sometimes you experience new things in life.
Right, and like my grandfather, big Cowboys hater, but he's 80-something years old. Dad's the same way. He grew up, was born in '68, so it was totally different for him growing up.
Of course.
For me, my two brothers, they could care less about it. Me, I grew up at the stadium all the time, and took off of work this Monday. I'll go tailgate with my dad or my buddies. We'll scream F Dallas.
Yeah, of course. No, of course.
Games. But hate guys like Dak, Zeke, but I mean, like you said earlier, those guys are kind of irrelevant now. They don't do much for the team. They don't ever win. They beat the Birds a couple times, but.
But what is it led to? You know what I mean? I just said it. The last 11 games, the Eagles are 3-8 against the Cowboys. But in those last 11 games, the Eagles have won a Super Bowl, been back to another. They've won the division a couple of times. What have the Cowboys done? Nothing.
They beat an old Tom Brady in the playoffs, and I think that's Dak's only playoff win in his career.
I believe you're right.
Have one more. But, I mean, a lot of kids my age now, they, Dallas Cowboys, Birds, whatever. But, I mean, for me, I get fired up about it every year, especially when they play in Philly. I tailgate every time. I've been to the game a couple of times, not going this year. But, so I still got the hatred and the fire.
Of course, but, here's my example. And thanks for the call, Joe. I appreciate it. Have fun this weekend, man. Screaming F Dallas with your dad. I love that. Here's my example. Okay? And this is probably second or third level, and maybe you're going to be confused by it, but whatever. So you're born and raised to hate the Cowboys, right? All right. When I was a kid, we went to the same pizza shop every single time. It was a Pizza Friday at the South Tunis household, or every time we had a party. Same pizza shop all the time. I loved that pizza, right? Loved it. And then I went to Temple, and I would go into the city, and I would try different pizzas. And I'd say, oh, my God, what have I been eating? What was I eating my whole life? You have different experiences in your life. So as a kid, yeah, I hated the Cowboys because my dad, hey, Dallas, I hate you guys. And then I left the house, and I go, wait, why do we hate the Cowboys so much? Like, they stink. They're nothing. And so that's kind of my example. As you grow older and you have different experiences in life, sometimes what you were raised with, you realize it's really not as bad or as good as you thought it was. Does that make sense, Ray?
Perfect sense to me.
Thank you. All right, let's head to the Comcast Business Hotline and talk to my man from the Inquirer, Inquirer.com. We'll continue this conversation with the great Matt Breen. Matt, what's going on, man?
What's up, Andrew? How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. So it's Cowboys week, right?
Yeah.
And I painted the picture at the beginning of the show. So I've been at the Fanatic for over 9 years now. And when I first started, I was the part-time floating producer, guy that worked behind the scenes. And I was given the task of, all right, Andrew, go get the list of Cowboys people that we should have on the air, former players. A, make sure they're still alive. B, see if they've said anything in recent years that shows that they still hate the Eagles and that rivalry. And I would do that. And I did that for 2 or 3 years. And as the years have gone on, especially post-Super Bowl, we don't do that anymore. So my question for the audience today is whether or not you still have that burning passion toward the Dallas Cowboys. And you and I are from a similar era. So I'll ask you, do you have that hatred for the Cowboys? Yes, you're born and raised to hate them, but when you wake up in the morning in Cowboys week, are you really feeling a certain type of way?
It's not like a hatred, but just naturally, I think probably everybody feels the same way. That you see that logo, it's just it's not like you can look at all the 32 NFL logos and they don't stand out. Like the Cowboys one stands out. It gives you that feeling. You don't like that team. Just I don't like the New York Yankees logo. I don't like the Mets and the Braves. As a kid, don't like those teams. You don't like the Cowboys. And I'm 34, so I'm just learning football when the Cowboys are winning all the Super Bowls, and the Eagles are pretty bad, sneak into the playoffs in '95, get smoked by the Cowboys. So it's that was always it was ingrained in you. I can remember driving into the city and Dallas sucks T-shirts being sold.
Right.
You just saw it everywhere. You just saw that was. You just knew that you didn't like it, and it's definitely calmed down now because, like you said, the Cowboys, they haven't been as the Eagles are the Cowboys now. The Eagles are the America's team, to steal their phrase, but they're the better franchise. So you don't really punch down. But I'm sure everybody from if you were an Eagles fan in the '70s till the
Right. So I've been making the point, it's kind of like a show of generations today, right? So I'm 29, Ray's even younger than me, and so I really started getting into sports probably when I'm 2000, right? It's when Iverson and then the Sixers, and so I'm 6 going on 7. That's when I'm really starting to get into sports. So since 2000, what have the Cowboys really done? The Cowboys made beating the Eagles in regular season games. In the last 11 games, the Cowboys are 8-3. The Eagles are 3-8. But in the last 11 matchups, the Eagles have since won a Super Bowl, have gotten back to another one, have won the division multiple times. Okay, so they beat us head-to-head, but the Eagles are the better team, so I laugh at that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's the thing, that it's totally flipped, that the Eagles of, my introduction to football are totally different than, an Eagles that kids now are being introduced to, and they're being introduced to also a Cowboys franchise that is second tier to what the Eagles are. But I mean, again, like the Cowboys during like the Zeke years had the Eagles number. Obviously, it didn't translate to playoff wins or Super Bowls, but I just always felt like that was a measuring stick game. When you especially going down there, I always thought that was like you circled that game, you wanted to see how the Eagles responded that game, and like when they're coming up here this week, like that's also.
So for me, I'm watching this game not Eagles-Cowboys rivalry. I'm watching this game. All right, the Eagles are one less loss in the loss column than the Cowboys, so a win here is important. It has nothing to do with logo v. logo. For me, it's, all right, it's a divisional rival, and I want to win the NFC East, and I also want to win the NFC, so you need to start piling up wins.
No doubt. And you go to the NFC's rivals, like, what's really left? Or do you care about the Giants anymore? They're awful, even in the playoffs last year. Right. It felt like a bye week. The Commanders are terrible. It's really, I mean, the Cowboys they're the other NFC East team that's good. And they've been consistently good. They haven't been consistently great or consistently Super Bowl contender, but they've been consistently good, a few bad years. But so like every year, those two games are going to be a good test. And especially this week, how important home field advantage is. Like the Niners are obviously they're in a tough spot right now, but they're loading up and they got Chase Young. And it's like, all right, you don't want to go there. You can bring them here because I think that neutralizes so much of what they do to bring them here. So you need to get home field advantage, get the bye. It was so important last year to see that, how important that now that one team getting a bye, you almost can walk to the Super Bowl. It's just you get an easy divisional round game. Next thing you know, you're hosting the 49ers in the NFC Championship game. So you have to take care of business, and this Sunday is a really big game for them.
Now, how'd you feel about the trade deadline? Came and gone. Eagles didn't do anything. Obviously, they made the trade for Byard before last week's game. So you did make an acquisition in an area of need. Were you surprised the Eagles didn't do anything else?
Yeah, once I saw Chase Young was like on the market, I was like, wow, that would be incredible to get him. But you understand that was a nice price to pay for a guy with 1 year left. So I get it. Kevin Byard, I mean, you got an all-pro in your defensive backfield now, so it's a good move. When they get signed, if they made that move, if they traded for him yesterday, but wow, they won the trade deadline with a great move. Here they did it a week early, so it kind of loses that luster of a trade deadline move, but still a great move. I mean, the roster is what it is. It's really good. So I don't know how many moves really you need to make. Right now, they have a really good team, and they've been playing good. And now it's just about if Hurts stays healthy. I'm not concerned about him right now. Like I know it's like the big deal about him being hobbled, but you look around and every elite quarterback in the NFL right now has played through something this season or is playing through something right now. Really, and that's the thing I think a lot of people don't realize that. And he hasn't missed practice yet. Where Herbert's missed practice. Mahomes had the flu this week. Like. You go around, everybody's hurt. And I don't mean to say that like cliche, like everybody's hurt this time of year. Like, no, like every elite quarterback is playing with something. And Hurts technically hasn't been on the injury report all season. So that's for now, just keep him healthy, and that's important.
Yeah, seriously, please stay healthy. We're speaking to Matt Breen of the Inquirer, Inquirer.com. Matt, the trade finally happened. James Harden no longer with the Sixers. He goes to the Clippers alongside P.J. Tucker, and I'm sure you're really upset about the loss of Philip Petrushev going to the Clippers. They get a couple of veteran guys back like Robert Covington, Nicholas Batum, and then, of course, they got the big prices was the draft picks. How'd you feel about the pick? Because I know you and I kind of have a similar thought toward Daryl Morey of, yeah, he's made some nice moves, but he's hyped up as this incredible president of basketball ops, and he hasn't won anything, and that's ultimately what the end goal is. What did you think about the trade?
Yeah, I think got a Morris to win, too, so let's not overlook that.
That's right, man.
Which is just cool. I love Philly.
Oh, of course.
I'm glad to see that. And but I think this is now it's Morey did this move. This is part A. Now you need to do part B.
Exactly.
Which is to turn this package into something. And I think this is where we'll see and I give him the leeway to be creative, where I think he has that ability. And that now it's like, prove it that you are this, basketball genius general manager that he was, or, president of basketball operations that he was brought in as, and that we saw from afar. And now he has a chance to do it. So now it's to see what he can do with this package. Like you said, they got the draft picks, they got cap space. They can make a move now, either if it's later the season or next summer. So I
well, let me ask you. To me, it's got to be this season. I mean, I know there might be a better move down the road, and patience is always a good thing, but you do still have a good team right now.
I agree.
And I would rather acquire somebody this season.
Me too. I think the window, like we talked about the Bryce Harper window, it's like you have a Joel Embiid window right now. So if you just say, we'll wait till next summer, then it's not that it's totally punting on this year because how good Maxey looks, but it kind of is. Like, you're probably not winning the Eastern Conference with this roster right now. But if you can make a move this season and get that third star in here, then I think that's what you need to do because you only have so many years of Joel Embiid, and you need to maximize it.
All right, Matt, what should we keep an eye on coming up out of you from the Inquirer? You got the Kelly Green stuff out of the way, obviously all the World Series stuff out of the way. So what's next for you, Matt Breen?
A week ago, I went to these guys. They play. Remember Tecmo Super Bowl?
Yeah.
They twice a year they rent an Airbnb in the area, and they all get together. They're all buddies from around here, and they lock themselves in for a weekend, and they play Tecmo for an entire weekend, like they have a season. Then they have a championship at the end. Sunday night, there's a championship. So a story. It's probably going to be closer to Thanksgiving, but it was neat. It was
Are they married?
Fun.
Like, do they have kids?
Married, kids.
What?
Like, they have great wives, obviously, right? So they give them a weekend off. They used to do it at their house, but like that's too crazy to have all these dudes in their house. So they rented an Airbnb in Bensalem, and they just stay in. And I'm like, you guys go out at night? Like, they're like, no, we play. Like, they play at 3 in the morning. They're playing all 24/7. It was wild, and it was neat. And the main point is as life moves on, because they're older, they're in our age, into their young 40s. Now, life, moves fast, and you have kids and wives and things going on. It's like you lose touch with your buddies a little bit, but this keeps them going. Now, they have this thing twice a year to look forward to.
Oh, that's awesome! I can't wait to read that, Matt. Great job as always. I always appreciate talking to you, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Thanks, Andrew. Take care, man.
There he is, Matt Breen from the Inquirer, Inquirer.com. That's awesome. See, that's something to look forward to, man.
That's fantastic.
It's tough now because Coop's so young. I can't probably do that stuff yet, but soon. But then again, I've gone to Florida a couple times, but for work purposes, Right.
Yeah,
I need to find that thing with the buddies. I need to find that thing. It used to be we would crash my parents' house down the shore for 2 days, and we did that for a couple of summers. But it's a little bit different now. Now it's lugging the shovel in the pail, Coop down there.
If there was a game to be locked in a weekend to play for you.
Because I've done this for hours already, leading up to weddings or last Christmas when the kids were getting all their pictures, NFL Blitz on the N64. It doesn't get old. I could play that game for 8 hours. Winner stays on. So NFL Blitz. You?
NCAA 13.
Oh, that's a good one. All right, we'll continue the conversation. The Eagles-Cowboys rivalry. I see that I've hit a nerve with some, but then I see some people that are in agreement. And this isn't a show where you have to agree, where I need you to agree with me. I'm just telling you, me personally, Eagles-Cowboys, it doesn't really mean as much anymore. And quite frankly, it really hasn't much other than when I was a kid and I would wake up on an Eagles Sunday when they were playing the Cowboys and my dad would start yelling right away. But my dad also went through the heyday of the Cowboys beating up on the Eagles. And the 2-14 as long as those 2 wins are against the Cowboys. I want the Eagles to go 14-2 if it means losing twice to the Cowboys. I want to win, damn it. I'm Andrew Salchunas, and this is 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
No deals on deadline day. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by Wendy's. The Wendy's Biggie Bag comes with your choice of JBC or crispy chicken sandwich, plus 4-piece nugs, junior fries, and a small soft drink. U.S. price and participation may vary. Third-party delivery pricing may be higher. The Eagles didn't make a trade on the NFL's deadline day. Trade deadline was yesterday at 4 p.m. The Eagles traded defensive tackle Kentavious Street and a 2025 7th-round pick for a conditional 2024 sixth-round pick on Monday. Also acquired safety Kevin Byard last week from the Titans. The big roster news over the last 24 hours. Well, it came earlier this morning with the Eagles elevated wide receiver Julio Jones and opened the 21-day practice window for Cam Jurgens. Reaction continues around the NBA to the Harden deal. Sixers traded James Harden, P.J. Tucker, and Philip Petrusev to the Clippers early Tuesday morning in exchange for 4 players and 4 picks, as well as a pick swap. Expectation around the league is that the Sixers will use the assets acquired to pursue another star. They host the Raptors tomorrow night. Matt Breen joined the show to talk both about that trade and, of course, what's going on with the Birds. You can catch that conversation one more time at 97.5 thefanatic.com. Flyers back in action tonight against the Sabres. Flyers trying to bounce back from back-to-back losses. Catch the live call right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Keep it locked here for all the latest news and information. I'm right on the home for the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic.
Tyrone Johnson, Ricky Batalico, and Jen Scordo. The best show ever. Listen weekday afternoons 2 to 6. The Eagles, the Phillies, the Sixers, and the Flyers. We have you covered all day, every day. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Hey, it's Jen Scordo. Score early this NFL season with FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's $150 if your team wins. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on all the action. The app is so easy to use. There's a huge range of betting options like spreads and player props, overs and unders, and a whole lot more. And oh boy, it's Dallas week. Philadelphia will host the Cowboys. There are so many options for you to choose from. You know, my favorite is to pick who's going to score first. Add in an anytime touchdown by your quarterback, and then the spread or the money line. Lots of pre-built same-game parlays are available as well. So you can score early by going to FanDuel.com/Scordo. That's FanDuel.com/Scordo. And definitely score early this NFL season with FanDuel, the official partner of the NFL.
21 plus and present PA. First online real money wager only. $5 pregame moneyline wager required. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, it's John Kincaid. You realize it's getting cold out, right? But it's not supposed to be cold inside your house. You realize that, right? Those old drafty windows, it's going to make your furnace work in overdrive this winter. So what do you want to do? Do you want to pay unnecessarily high energy bills? Of course not. You want to call Window Nation at 866-90Nation. And you want to check them out online at windownation.com because their energy-efficient windows are designed for climate changes, and they're going to help keep the cold out during the winter, and they're also going to help you lower your monthly energy costs by up to 30%. This month only. Check out this offer. Window Nation's offering 0% interest for 5 years. Are you kidding me? Nobody's doing this in business. That's 60 months interest-free. And get 2 free windows for every 2 that you buy. So you're protecting your family from the elements, you're lowering your energy costs, you're upgrading the look of your home, and you're feeling just so good about the deal you got from Window Nation. 5 years interest-free? That's nuts. Call 2 free windows for every 2 that you buy, but in November, that's 0% interest for 5 years. Call the company over 200,000 families have trusted with their home. Window Nation. Call 866-90Nation. Go to windownation.com. Tell them Kincaid sent you. This week's Pro to Watch is brought to you by Bradford White. Bradford White water heaters are built to be the best. Surprise, surprise. Veterans returning to the ice here in Philadelphia are having huge impacts. And that's big news because this was supposed to be a year of a rebuild on the ice, the new era of Orange. Well, one thing I can tell you is a few weeks into the season, I'm liking the new approach to how they play the game. Travis Konechny is off to a rousing start. Cam Atkinson immediately adding stability to the top 2 lines. Plus, Travis Sanheim, he's cruising on the blue line and doing a great job of bolstering that offense.
Bradford White water heaters have always been built to be the best, loaded with innovative features that separate them from the rest. And now, Bradford White tank-style water heaters give you additional peace of mind with Microban antimicrobial protection. How you heat your water matters, so don't settle for anything less than the proven performance of a Bradford White, the only water heaters with Microban antimicrobial technology. Visit BradfordWhite.com to learn more and to find an installation pro near you.
I have diabetes. I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I have asthma. I'm at risk too.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a vaccine that can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just 1 dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
When your team's best players have all been traded and the latest pick is overrated, just raise a glass with a friend or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. May your team be great and your picks be true, and if it falls apart, you'll know what to do. Just raise a glass with a fan or two and tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. It's a crazy world, so what do? You tell them more, tell them more, tell them more do. Hey! Tell them more Jew Irish whiskey, 40% alcohol, William Grant & Sons Inc., New York.
Businesses of all types and sizes are saving money with Pico because Pico's got the financial incentives and technical expertise to help you reduce your energy use and to save cash. See how Pico's helping businesses like yours take greater control of their energy costs to improve their bottom line. Simply complete a customer survey on Pico's digital portal and an energy profile. The report will be generated for you, and this profile is going to provide specific recommendation based on your facilities, equipment, and energy use with great ways to save while either maintaining or increasing productivity.
Hey, it's Ricky Metallico to tell you about our friends at Schwartz Culleton. You've heard their ads and their iconic phone number for years, 1-800-JUSTICE. When you've been injured in a car accident, there is no greater resource than an experienced lawyer. The lawyers at Schwartz Culleton have well over 100 years combined experience prosecuting claims on behalf of individuals injured in car accidents. They have helped over 10,000 clients obtain the justice they deserve. The firm has become a bedrock of the Philadelphia community and the surrounding suburbs. From start to finish, they'll help you get your car repaired and ensure you have all the best doctors for your injuries. They have relationships with the top medical specialists and have a strong reputation with the insurance companies. There is no doubt you'll get justice if you call 1-800-JUSTICE. Again, that's 1-800-JUSTICE. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station. Official home of the Sixers, Flyers, Union, and the best Eagles talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic.
$11:52, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Salchunas. Our 11 o'clock hour brought to us by Golden Nugget Jewelers, where Philly gets engaged. Coming up at 12:30, we will hear from head coach Nick Sirianni during his Wednesday press conference, 12:30-ish. Probably end up being 12:40, and we'll go to break, because that's usually how it works with head coach Nick Sirianni. Of course, all of his press conference brought to us by Corpley's Bakery and Deli, world-famous tomato pie, hoagies, every bit as good. All right, so to reset the show a little bit, in case you're just tuning in, it's Eagles-Cowboys week. Eagles take on the Cowboys Sunday. I'm excited for a football game. I'm excited for an important football game because the Eagles are ahead of them in the standings and the Cowboys aren't far off. And to me, that's what it's all about. Yeah, when I see the Cowboys star, I'll feel a certain type of way. But for me, all that matters is the fact that the Eagles are ahead of them in the standings and the Cowboys aren't far behind. And if you listen to the show at the beginning of the season, I thought the Eagles would go 11-6, 12-5 this year. And I thought the Cowboys would be right around that. So to me, this game is important to win the division and also give yourself a better chance at winning the conference. And that's all that matters. It has nothing to do with Cowboys of yesteryear in the 90s and running up the score against the Eagles and anything like that. But I do know for a lot of you, it is. And all I know is from doing this job for almost a decade now, since the Eagles won the Super Bowl, the whole Cowboys week has not been the same. We don't get the old players on, the old Cowboys players to call in to poke fun at them and to have the rivalry stuff. All right, we don't do that as much anymore. Every once in a while we would. Like last year, I'm pretty sure it was last year, it might have been 2 years ago when I was working with Ant, I had Moose Johnson on. You know why? Because he was on the call that game. So we played load left for him because he was the fullback on that play when they go for it back-to-back plays on fourth down. And, it was a nice little fun back and forth. But then we talked about the game because he was the color analyst for that game. Eagles-Cowboys coming up that specific weekend. But gone are the days of, our boss at the time, Matt Nahagian, going, all right, Andrew, come up with the list of Cowboys players. And, man, it would get to the point where we would have the backup quarterback of the Cowboys calling in. Because we would run through the gamut. Think about it. Morning, midday, afternoon, and night. 4 shows. You try to get 2 or 3 Cowboys. I mean, all of a sudden, you're running out of players. So now you're having, the backups on. We're not doing that anymore. Because it just doesn't mean as much anymore. And it's one thing, our man VT Ron called in. He's like, I will always hate the Cowboys. I think back to my childhood and blah, blah. I get it. I hate the Cowboys too. Not to the same extent as other generations because they've been irrelevant for me. I've watched the Giants win 2 Super Bowls. I've never seen the Cowboys get to the NFC Championship game, which is why when I see Giants blue, I get angry when I see Cowboys blue. That's from my own personal life experiences. We all have different life experiences, especially of different generations. I don't poo-poo the fact that there is a rivalry. It's not the same for me. But I think some of us are lying to ourselves when, in the last couple of years specifically, it really isn't the same. And you'll wear the T-shirts of the kid peeing on the Cowboys logo. I'll probably do it too. I got this shirt. Support 2 teams, Eagles and whoever kicks the Cowboys' ass. I got that. It's the Ocean City, Wildwood Boardwalk, Cape May shopping strip. That T-shirt, those stores. I have those Eagles Cowboys shirts. So it's still fun, and it's still important to continue to win against that team. But be honest, it's not the same as it used to be because they've been irrelevant for a long time. Let's go to Heavy in Huntington Valley. What's up, Hev?
Yo, what's good, bro?
What's up, Heavy?
Just getting ready for this weekend, man. Big game. Super excited. I don't, there's certainly nothing to complain about. I mean, we got a pretty solid team looking here. And obviously a win would go a big way for us.
Yeah, and for me, it's nothing because of pride of beating the Cowboys. For me, it's you become 8-1, they become 5-3, and that's huge.
Yeah, I mean we all know today it's all about getting that home field advantage and getting the first week off. You really need to do that today if you want to succeed. But I mean, if we're talking about this Cowboys team, in this rivalry. I mean, let's be real. If you look up the stats, I mean, it's not even close who the better team is the last 25 years. The Cowboys have only made the playoffs 9 times. The Eagles have made it 15 times. We've gotten past the division round 7 times. They haven't gotten past the division round since 1995.
Right, exactly.
I mean, is it the rivalry that it used to be and what we would want it to be? No, it's not what it used to be. But at the same time, this game this weekend, I mean, I'm trying to think about just drama with the Cowboys over the last 20 years. I mean, other than the Roy Williams head on TO that took him out for the end of the season.
Right. I mean, for the most part, there really hasn't been much. And I told the story earlier, and thanks for the call, Hev. I told the story earlier when I was doing post game. This was back in 2022, or it was the early stage of 2022. It was January 8th, 2022. The Eagles lost to the Cowboys 51-26. The Eagles didn't play anybody. I'll try to find up the box score to see who played that game for the Eagles. You don't look it up because I have another task for you. I'll take care of it. I see. You're a great producer over there. But the Eagles-Cowboys game, the Cowboys beat up the Eagles and ran up the score. Eagles were getting set for the playoffs. They wanted to be healthy going into the playoff game against the Buccaneers. And what did it mean? Nothing. They lost, right? But at the time, that Cowboys game didn't matter. Didn't matter that they ran up the score on you. I didn't care. And then I had a caller call in fuming. You don't understand what I went through as a kid. You're right. I don't. But all I know is the here and now, and the here and now, Cowboys mean nothing at all. So here's what I want you to do, Ray. I want you to put up a poll for the final 2 hours of the show. I want you to ask the people, what is it that you hate the most about the Dallas Cowboys? And your options will be the logo, historic rivalry, current players, fans, Dallas fans, Cowboys fans, local Cowboys fans. And I will tell you right now, I guarantee you the local Cowboys fans will be the winner in this poll.
Local fans or just
like
fans
the local Cowboys? Because who are we really arguing with from Dallas?
But you will specifically for the option, local fans.
The local Cowboys fans.
97.5 The Fanatic. Go vote.
Yeah. And I guarantee you it's that one that wins. And the fact that it's the Cowboys fans that bothers you the most, this ain't a rivalry, man. Because what do I care about the fans? The players. That's really all that matters. And what's going on right now? The Eagles, since 2000, have been the better team. T-Love and Delco. What's up, T-Love?
Hey, what's up, Tunis?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm listening to what you're saying, and I agree. I just want to think that you guys, in your 20s and 30s, specifically the early 30s and the 20s and all, you guys are from what I like to call the happy generation.
Yes.
Okay. I mean,
I've seen a lot of success. I am blessed to be a Philadelphia sports fan, T-Love.
It's amazing. And it's not a bad thing. It's great.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. But, for us older guys, little older guys, you know what I'm saying? We've seen the decades of miserable play and watching these guys be. It's not just them. It's not just the Dallas Cowboys. It's the Boston Celtics.
Mm-hmm. Which I've talked about this with Ant in the past. I don't feel that hatred toward the Celtics. Now, I'm starting to because I just they annoy me. Like they're an annoying team to me. But I don't have the Larry Bird hatred because I wasn't alive.
That's because this is a more likable bunch than the Danny Ainges and the Cornbread Maxwells and the ML Cars. You guys, they don't have those guys anymore in the Celtics. They actually have talented guys. I don't hate the players. I hate the organization.
Right.
Since time has gone past and we have become relevant again, because sports goes in cycles. And I've been through decades of bad Phillies teams, decades of bad Sixers teams, decades of terrible Eagles teams, and the Flyers still haven't got it together. You know what I mean? I was a little kid when the Flyers actually won back-to-back Stanley Cups, you know? But that's been so long ago, you guys don't know what that's like.
No.
But here's the thing about that. The guys that I used to hate, I don't hate anymore. I actually have an appreciation for them, but I don't like the organization. I hate the
and that's fair. I think that's fair, and because we grow out of some of the stuff too. But my question, and even though you hate the Cowboys from yesteryear, I don't think you should stop hating the Cowboys from yesteryear. My question is, do you still feel that same fire right now that you used to?
Well, here's the thing: when I see Michael Irvin, makes me laugh.
Right.
Troy Aikman is actually a really good analysis.
Yes, he is.
And I can't hate them for that. I hate them because they played for the organization. I didn't like Roger Staubach back then, but he was a damn good quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? My problem is I hate the organization. And the one thing I hate the most is the national media, because when you watch a national NFL show, you get 25 minutes of the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, that's the only reason why they're still relevant. right? Like they're irrelevant if it wasn't for the national media. And I appreciate the call, T-Love. I do. Always love hearing from you, man. I appreciate you calling it. The national media is the only reason why the Cowboys are still relevant, period. They get more love than the Eagles do. The Eagles have been the better team. Over the last 23 years, the Eagles have been the better team than the Dallas Cowboys. I don't think you can disagree with that. Even Cowboys fans can't disagree with that. Since 2000, we had heavy calling. 7 NFC championship appearances. Dallas Cowboys, 0. Eagles have won a Super Bowl, been back. They've been to 3. Cowboys not even close. Or full round behind. But the national media talks more Cowboys than they do Eagles. Why? Because it sells. I know people don't like hearing America's team. Well, there's a reason why it's America's team. Because it sells, right? But that's the only reason why they're still relevant. And, that's why I don't watch these shows. I respect Stephen A. Smith. I don't really respect Skip Bayless, but hey, he's made millions, so go for it. I don't watch those shows. The only time I ever talk about them or play audio from them is when they have an analyst on or Adrian Wojnarowski we were playing yesterday. He was on Get Up. I really care about what Mike Greenberg has to say. Not really. He's a good host. He's a good host, has guests on. You know why? Because he works for ESPN. They get all these guys on, and then we play the audio once in a while. But that's because I see it on Twitter. I'm not sitting down and watching First Take. I'll watch the clips that are posted on social media because it doesn't do anything for me. What do I care about the Cowboys' love when they're not good? That box score, by the way, Eagles-Cowboys. Gardner Minshew was your starting quarterback. Greg Ward attempted to pass. 1 for 1, 2 yards. Your running backs, Kenny Gainwell, had the second most carries that day. Jason Huntley carried the ball 13 times that game. How could you forget Jason Huntley?
Put the number up in the rafters.
How about Jalen Reagor got 3 carries that day? They finally they tried doing a reverse or a jet sweep for the first time.
Kind of like Debo. He reminds me a lot of Debo.
Your leading receiver that game was Quez Watkins. 5 catches, 84 yards, and a tutty. Kenneth Gainwell, pretty much similar numbers as now, 4 catches for 9 yards. He shouldn't be on the field all this Sunday. Tyree Jackson had 3 catches that game. Is he even on the roster anymore? I know the Eagles released him. Did he get picked up anywhere?
No, I don't think so.
Here's the perfect example of why that game meant nothing. Name sticks out in neon. Richard Rodgers. 2 catches. 11 yards. And so that day when I did postgame, I felt bad because that guy called in. He was so upset. So upset that I wasn't angry that the Cowboys beat up the Eagles by a double. Basically doubled their score. It was 51-26.
One of the best examples of that is the year they win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They lose 6-0 in the game in which Nate Sudfeld threw for 148 or something like that, 150 yards.
Yeah.
And it was, he was really moving the ball against the Cowboys. He was not. But, are you really going to be upset that they lose 6-0 to the Cowboys in a game that doesn't mean anything?
You can't lose to the Cowboys. I don't care if we go 2-14. No, I want to go 14-2 and win the Super Bowl. And if they lost to the Cowboys twice, so be it. By the way, congratulations to one Jalen Hurts, NFC Player of the Week, Offensive Player of the Week. So the streak, there was no streak as much this year, right? Because Jake Elliott was week 1, DeAndre Swift was week 2. I think there was somebody week 3. I forget who it was, but then it stopped for a while. But we're back.
A.J. Brown at some point win it?
A.J. Brown had to have had at some point.
Yeah, one of these weeks.
But Jalen Hurts, NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
You'll see it up in the hallway at the facility. So that's good. Glad they can, raise another picture.
And this is going to make you happy.
Oh.
The Sixers are tweeting out.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Worry. I wasn't going to interrupt a good topic with the Welcome Home Road Coat graphic, but don't you worry.
Welcome home, Robert Covington.
I already saw it.
So I was talking to Matty Cord during the break. Of course, Matt, in-arena announcer, also works down the hall. And we were trying to figure out, who's in the starting lineup. And we kind of talked about this yesterday. I still don't know. Game's tomorrow, so we'll get a better idea tomorrow. It's still Maxey and Embiid Harris. I imagine Melton's still in it. I don't think he gets pushed to the bench. Question is, my question is it Batum in the Tucker role and Harris stays at the 3, so now Batum's your corner 3 guy, Or is it Harris slides to the 4 and Rocco at the 3? I don't see anybody else on this team that's going to be in the starting lineup. Unless you go Kelly Oubre, but I would rather him coming off the bench.
Yeah, every time I put together a lineup, I say that I'd rather one of those players be on the bench, and that's with already Melton in the lineup, who I'd rather be on the bench.
Who I'd rather be on the bench.
So, good. Glad we got to deal with that.
Until they make another trade, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Lot of flexibility with this group.
Right. Yeah, so,
and I think, starter minutes might mean something different with this group. Whoever starts, the 5 that start, I'd imagine that whoever takes Tucker's spot in the starting lineup is playing probably a reduced role, even compared to where Tucker was at one point, like the high 20s. I think in terms of minutes, like you're probably going to see guys in the mid-20s as they continue to shift guys through that.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, it really ends up on who's on the court at the end of the game.
Yeah,
that's what really ends up all that matters. All right, Nick Sirianni speaks at 12:30. I will continue to take your calls because I know this is a hot button topic today. So I appreciate everybody that's chimed in, and I've loved the discourse today. But I saw that Ray put up the tweet. What do you hate most about the Cowboys? The options. The logo, the historic rivalry, the current players, and the local Cowboys fans. I'll give you the answers coming up next and who leads the way. Just tell you right now, I'm not shocked. Get ready to start the NFL week off right because right now all customers can get a no-sweat same-game parlay for Thursday Night Football. All you got to do is place a 3-leg same-game parlay on this week's game, which is not the Buccaneers and the Bills because that's who played last week. So I'm going to try to figure out who it is right now so I can tell you what bets I would make. It's the Titans and the Steelers, right? Titans and the Steelers. You'll get bonus bets back if you don't win. NFL same-game parlays, the perfect way to combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payday. Just visit FanDuel.com/fanatic, and you'll build or choose from one of the popular SGPs pre-built for you in FanDuel's top-rated sportsbook app. Just visit FanDuel.com/fanatic so you don't miss on your chance to get a no-sweat same-game parlay on America's #1 sportsbook in partnership with Valley Forge. Now, here's the deal. It's Titans Steelers. Are we riding the Will Levis train? Do we go with Levis over in his touchdown passes, which is probably going to be at 1.5? I say yes. Derrick Henry over in rushing yards because you still need to get him in there. And maybe a Derrick Henry touchdown because I don't think he's thrown for 4 tutties this time. Parlay those 3, you'll get a nice little payout. FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. You got to be 21 plus, present in PA. Refund issued as knowledgeable bonus bets that expires 7 days at the receipt. Max refund $5 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Fanatic Sports Updates.
Birds, stand pat. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by Unbound.org. A girl in Kenya dreams of becoming a doctor. An elder in Guatemala dreams of being part of a community. Reach out and change their world, and we'll change your own. Unbound.org. The Eagles didn't make a trade on the NFL's trade deadline day. The deadline was yesterday at 4 p.m., but of course, a couple of moves from the Eagles over the last 2 weeks. They traded defensive tackle Kentavious Street and a 2025 7th-round pick for a conditional 2024 6th-round pick on Monday. And, of course, last week they acquired safety Kevin Byard from the Titans. Roster moves today included elevating wide receiver Julio Jones to the active roster and opening up the 21-day practice window for Cam Jurgens. This all is Birds prepare for the Cowboys at the link this Sunday at 4:25. Reaction continues around the NBA to the James Harden deal. 76ers dealt Harden, P.J. Tucker, Philip Petrusev to the Clippers early Tuesday morning in exchange for 4 players and 4 picks, as well as a pick swap. Expectation around the NBA is that the Sixers will use the assets acquired to pursue another star. Sixers host the Raptors tomorrow night. Matt Breen joins the show to talk all things Birds and Sixers as he looks at the deals made by the Sixers, deals not made by the Eagles, and of course what goes on with this week in the Cowboys matchup. To catch that conversation one more time at 97.5thefanatic.com. Flyers back in action tonight against the Buffalo Sabres. Flyers trying to bounce back from back-to-back losses. Catch a live call right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Keep it locked here for the latest news and information. I'm Ray Dunn, the home for the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic.
Tomorrow from 10 to 2, Andrew Salchunas will be live from Leah Corus Walk on the campus of Temple University. Don't miss big-time college football action when Temple battles Navy this Saturday at 2 p.m. at Lincoln Financial Field. Kids tickets are as low as $10 on game day. Visit owlstix.com.
Hey, it's John Kincaid for the American Association for Cancer Research. And you know, as a 2-time cancer survivor that is soon hoping to make it a threesome, I know firsthand that donations supporting cancer research are the key to finding a cure. That's why I'm excited about the AACR's First Time Donor Match Challenge. And it runs through the end of the year. All first-time donators received today through December 31st will be matched for twice the impact. So no amount's too small. Every dollar counts twice during the challenge period. And your support helps propel the work of the next generation of people that are pioneering cancer research. Collaboration is critical to making new discoveries, diagnosing, treating, and one day curing cancer. So if you've never donated to the AACR, now's the perfect time because your dollars will go twice as far thanks to the AACR's First-Time Donor Match Challenge. Go to aacr.org/fanatic. That's aacr.org/fanatic and give what you can. I'm living proof that cancer research saves lives, and I'm hoping that the third time's a charm.
When your check engine light goes on, you take it to the mechanic. But what happens when the check engine light goes on in the bedroom? Don't ignore it and think it's going to magically get fixed. Get Blue Chew. Blue Chew is the first chewable with the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but for a fraction of the cost. BlueChew.com has also taken out the hassle of having to go to the doctor. All you have to do is head to BlueChew.com and meet with a licensed medical professional. And then it's shipped right to your door in a discreet package. That way your kids won't know, your neighbors will have no idea, and while your nosy mother-in-law will be clueless, you won't be chewless. But Blue Chew isn't just for guys who are struggling to rise to the occasion. It's also for anyone looking to take their game to the next level. Blue Chew is so confident in their product that they have an unbeatable offer for Fanatic listeners. Head to BlueChew.com and enter the promo code Fanatic at checkout, and they'll send you your first month free. Just pay the $5 shipping. That's BLUEChew.com, and don't forget to use the promo code Fanatic.
Nothing slows my little girl down, except the stuffy nose. Mommy. That's why I use Sinex Children's Saline from Vicks. Sinex instantly clears mucus in everyday stuffy little noses with a gentle, ultra-fine mist designed for kids. Just Sinex? Breathe. Her stuffy nose is gone for now. And so is she.
Sinex Children's Saline. Sinex, breathe. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
O'Reilly Auto Parts' new Brake Best Select Pro brand raises the bar for the best aftermarket domestic brake pads and rotors available. For vehicle-specific friction formulations, Quiet-Tech noise-canceling shims, and stainless steel hardware, choose Brake Best Select Pro. Professional-grade brakes from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Oh, I love this restaurant. Glad we got a table quickly.
What does that sign say?
Caution, wet floor?
No, right next to it.
If you are 60 or older, you may be at increased risk of serious consequences from RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, compared to adults younger than 60. I didn't know that.
Not all dangers come with warning labels. Talk to your pharmacist or doctor about getting vaccinated against RSV today. RSV vaccines, including Pfizer's, are available. Learn more at bewareofrsv.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
I don't consider myself a spokesperson for H&H Heating and Air Conditioning. I'm a customer, and I love the way that they've maintained our HVAC system to make sure it's running at peak efficiency. Go to DelcoHVAC.com right now. That's their website. And schedule a gas furnace tune-up for just $79, and it includes a free carbon monoxide check. And if you want a new system, you can ask them about special financing of up to $1,200 in rebates on qualifying systems subject to credit approval. See the dealer for details. H&H Heating and Air Conditioning. They're an independent trained dealer, and you can find them online at DelcoHVAC.com, but they serve every county out there. That's DelcoHVAC.com.
Get ready for sneaker culture presented by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks. It's all happening at Raymond James Stadium on December 9th. Buy, sell, trade. See hundreds of exhibits with the rarest finds in sneakers, collectibles, and apparel with celebrity shoppers, influencers, and esports. And guess what? You could win a trip for two to be there, VIP style. To enter, just head to sneakerculture.com. That's culture with a K, and register to win. Don't miss out on the ultimate sneaker experience. Sneaker Culture Tampa, where style meets the streets. See you in Tampa.
Lowe's knows pros want savings now. That's why, as an MVP's Pro Rewards member, you get volume savings on orders of $1,500 or more at the Pro Desk. And there's more. We've lowered our prices on select top products like electrical wire and drywall, so you can get the job necessities for less. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. In-store only. Exclusions, restrictions, and more terms apply. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
Jim McManus plays on one station in Philly, 97.5 The Fanatic.
$12:19, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Salchunas. Having a lot of fun today talking about the Eagles-Cowboys rivalry of what actually exists anymore, because I don't think it really does. Except for history, because, I don't ignore history. I just ignore the fact that, some people still think it really is that deep. Now, it's not. 12 o'clock hour brought to us by Service First Heating and Air Conditioning. Get 0% financing for 72 months and a $500 rebate when you purchase a complete heating and cooling system from Service First. Learn more at servicefirsthvac.com. And we got Nick Sirianni's press conference coming up at 12:30. One of the last, so we had Heavy, our caller Heavy earlier today. Was like, I don't even know what the last time there was any drama between the two teams. You know what the last dramatic moment was between the Eagles and Cowboys? It was with Nick Sirianni. The Beat Dallas shirt. So it wasn't even against us. It was the fact that he wore that T-shirt, and then people made a big deal of it, that it was going to be bulletin board material for the Cowboys, and the Cowboys ended up winning that game. That was the last bit of drama. What other drama has there been recently? Their best player loves the Eagles. You have that audio from Micah Parsons. So Micah Parsons has a podcast, and look, he clearly loves the Eagles. Loves them. And a lot of the members of the Eagles love him. Maybe it's a recruiting tactic. Right? There's a lot of respect between him and the members of the Eagles. So here's Micah Parsons on his podcast talking about the link this Sunday.
Let's get it. It's going to be a great game Sunday. Dallas Cowboy Nation. Eagles, one of the biggest rivalries in football. Dallas Cowboy Nation, I need y'all to all stand up, be out there. And Philadelphia is going down in the city of brotherly love. Come get it. We need y'all. We need to make this a home game. Y'all know how they get. It's going to be loud. It's going to be wild. It's going to be crazy. Fans all over. So let's get right to it, Cowboys Nation. I'm going to see you Sunday.
He's jealous, man. He's jealous. Now, here's the deal. Micah, Cowboys fans aren't taking over. No, Eagles fans actually go. I know there's a couple people that buy tickets just to sell them. But for the most part, when's the last time there was a takeover at Lincoln Financial Field? I don't think there was one. Maybe a couple of years ago when they were bad, there was a takeover. Not this team. That's not happening. So Micah's pleading, begging for Cowboys fans to show up. That's not going to happen. There'll be a couple of knucklehead local Cowboys fans that go. But other than that, it's going to be all Eagles fans. Now to the poll. My question was, what do you hate most about the Cowboys? And the options was the logo, the historic rivalry, current players, and local Cowboys fans. Current players, right? You want to take a guess how many people have voted current players?
No, because I know what the answer is.
3%. 3. Now, look, let me make this clear as well. I don't buy into rivalries that don't exist in any sport. Flyers-Penguins means nothing to me right now. You know why? Because the Penguins have been very good. I know they haven't been, recently. But the Penguins were really good, and the Flyers weren't. Sixers Celtics during the process meant nothing to me. And I'm starting to get into it more because that's, a team that's knocked you out of the playoffs twice in the last 5 years. But that's really the only reason why. Phillies Braves is the more historic rivalry. For me, though, it's Phillies Mets. Because of my heyday of being a Phillies fan, it was the Mets that were that team they were fighting with. So right now, there's nobody to hate on the Cowboys. There really isn't. And the Eagles are just a better team. So for all the people that say, when I see that star, I get so angry. 4% voted the logo. 18% voted the historic rivalry. Which means 75% of people voted the local Cowboys fan. And that's fine. I don't blame you. They're annoying as all get out. Can't stand them, man. Can't stand them. But here's the deal. You hate a fan base more than the team itself. Is that really a real rivalry? Yeah, you may hate the guy that you see walking around wearing the Cowboys jersey because you hate that guy because he's not an Eagles fan. But at this point, the two teams, there's no rivalry. And that's why I say it's not the same anymore. And really, because the local Cowboys fan has lost a lot of their energy, double that it doesn't matter as much. We don't hear from Cowboys fans anymore. We rarely do. It's Eagles-Cowboys week. And I've heard from one Cowboys fan this week, and it was today. One. So I'm just trying to make the point of it's definitely not the same if the one thing you hate the most is the Cowboys fan, and the Cowboys fan's been quiet because their team's been irrelevant since 2000. Let's go to Mark in Minneapolis. We'll hear from Nick Sirianni in a couple minutes. Mark, you're on The Fanatic.
Hey, Tunis. Hey, Ray.
What's up, Mark?
Doing today? Hey, so I'm 55, and I feel like the caller that you had last on, he said it all about going in cycles. I feel like you adapt to rivalries. Like, something has to happen, and if something bad happens, like a cheap shot or, something like that in sports, I just feel like it can last for a couple games or it can last for a year. Right now, the Cowboys have been irrelevant for almost 30 years now. So there's nothing. There's nothing. It's just another NFC East game to me.
Yeah, like I guarantee you, going into this season, more people circled the Chiefs game. More people circled the 49ers game than they circled the two Cowboys games.
Yeah, and the 49ers game, they probably circled that one because they came in, they were crying about us beating them up in the link last year. But there's like, to me, I always hate the Celtics. The Celtics, that green uniform, and their floor and whatever. I just don't like the Celtics, and I guess it's more of an organization. I think that when something dirty happens, like I'm old enough to remember like Sedale Freak punching Danny Ainge in the face,
right,
in midcourt, right, things like that, and then
there were fights between those two teams during preseason games.
Yes, and Doc trying to choke Larry Bird. I mean, that's two world-class players right there, and they're like literally trying to choke each other and going at it. So things like that, I think, kind of like just.
And you know what? So you just said something interesting, right? The players bought into it more back then.
Yes.
Like what? Micah Parsons loves the Eagles.
Yes.
Like Micah Parsons couldn't do anything against Lane Johnson last year, and after the game, he tweeted about Lane Johnson. What happened?
I know. I went to Penn State. I love Micah Parsons. I wish he was on our team.
Same.
Maybe someday that'll happen. But I just think that it goes in cycles, just like the last caller said. Something has to happen. I remember Ron Hextall coming out of the net and going after Chris Chelios.
Right.
He did a cheap shot on Brian Propp and put him in the glass and stuff like that. I think that.
Yeah, you know what? I think it's changed for players too. And thanks for the call, Mark. And a lot of it, like in the NBA, right? The only time it may start getting more chippy is in the 7-game series because you've seen them now for a couple of days. Like, do you think Nick Claxton and Joel Embiid had a beef before the playoffs last year? Like, no. And you know what the beef was? Joel Embiid was beaten down on Nick Claxton. So Claxton tried to pull him down on the ground. I still think he did some dirty stuff there. Marcus Smart is just Marcus Smart. But once you see him a couple of times, you're going to feel a certain type of way. Dude, athletes nowadays, there's not much of a rivalry. Unless it's about a Kardashian. Seriously, what is the rivalry other than this guy did that thing with this girl and this girl, and they're now dating?
I mean, I'm still shocked that we have Chris Paul and Draymond Green on the same team.
Yes.
So, like, those types of... You're able to put things aside to form these teams at this point.
Dude, LeBron's friends with everyone.
Yes.
Like, it's LeBron versus Kevin Durant. They're dapping up in the middle of the game. They're not choking each other out. So the Eagles-Cowboys thing, who hates each other? Between the Eagles and the Cowboys, who hates each other? Nobody. Like, if Diggs was playing and he was guarding A.J. Brown, they'd probably be in each other's face like the entire game. You know why? Because they're competitors. It's not because one plays for the Eagles, one plays for the Cowboys. It's just because they're competitors. It's just, it's not just one thing for me to say. It's look at the players' actions. They don't even act a certain type of way anymore. The rivalry's not what it used to be. And I know that bothers some people. It bothers the people that I even bring it up. I read the tweet from Coach Gallo in the second segment of the show. He said, thanks for, killing the buzz of Cowboys week. What buzz? For me, the buzz is get to 8-1 and make them 5-3. And you're now totally in the driver's seat of the division. As we await Nick Sirianni, let's go to Nick in Morrisville. Nick, you're on the Fanatic.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. So your call really, what you guys were talking about earlier, really just jumped to my mind. So, of course, the Eagle-Cowboy rivalry, that's a big thing in the NFL. It's almost like Yankees-Red Sox, if you think about that rivalry.
Yeah, they're going to put it on national TV every year, right? Like, they'll make a point to put it on.
Yeah, it's on national TV. The league is intrigued by it. The fans are intrigued by it. So, like, me, as a Charger fan,
okay,
I'm thinking about this game as like, this is the game of the week.
Right.
It always is when these two teams play. It's like that in the, I've been hearing people talk about the Celtics, the last couple of callers. Me as a Laker fan myself, like the Lakers Celtics, that was a big rivalry. That was like, the most intrigued matchup during the 80s and 90s, back when, they always used to go at it.
Right.
So if you really think about, the players' perspective and the fans' perspective, like you just said, there's nobody really to like at this point, maybe back when, Tony Romo was playing or Des Bryant. But the Cowboys haven't been relevant.
No, and they really haven't been. Nick, I got to run. Sirianni's talking. I appreciate your perspective, and I have something off of that I'm going to get into later on, but we got Nick Sirianni right now for his Wednesday news conference.
Nick, Jalen's on pace for career highs in most passing categories to this point in the season. What has it meant for him to take those kind of steps, especially as he's been slowed in the running game with the knee pain?
Yeah, like I said, I think he's been playing really good football, and so we're not looking at the stats kind of like that. We're looking at day by day, game by game, and we feel like he's been going to the right place with the football, making accurate throws, big time throws in clutch moments, and so. We're pleased with where he is right now. And like I said to you guys, he just keeps improving, right? With the more reps that he sees, the more things that he sees, the different defenses, where he went with the ball, this defense, where he went with the ball in this play versus this defense. He's just he has a very unique way of just trying to get better every single day. He really lives that out. And so, he'll continue to get better with the more reps that he gets. And I know that's crazy to say when he started for almost 3 years now, but it's this memory bank of all these different plays that he's ran against these different defenses and knowing where to go with the football more and more consistently, and then just being getting more reps at being accurate as a thrower. So that's what as far as his pass game, he's just making good quick decisions and throwing with good accuracy.
The city obviously. On Monday, the top edge rushers are playing a greater share of snaps than they did last season. What does Nolan Smith need to do to be more involved on defense?
Yeah, he's in a deep room. He's in a very deep room with 3 guys last year in particular that had 10+ sacks. So, again, as Nakobe, as Cam Jurgens last year, they're in a position where there isn't rotation, right? There as much, right? And so last year those guys were more, just backups, and then as far as Nakobe, special teams. Whereas Nolan's getting, he's in a deep room, very similar to those 2 guys, and he gets mixed reps here and there throughout the game. And so, again, he's getting good reps there on special teams. And making some plays there on special teams. So again, not anything that Nolan has done where we're really excited about Nolan and the possibilities that he has as a football player. He's just in a very deep room, and sometimes you get in the flow of the game and you ride the hot hand, and Sweat and Josh and Hassan have been playing really good football.
The city obviously gets fired up for this game against the Cowboys and with the division ramifications and everything. Do you have to sell that to the team in your messaging, or is it just understood with the?
Yeah, again, that's for y'all to, you as in media, the fans to get. We have to treat every day the same. Like, you can't get more up for one game than you would the next game. I think if I said to the fans and to you as the media that it's Cowboy week, we're going to ramp it up. Well, what the hell were we doing the last couple weeks, right? You'd be like, well, that's why you lost to the Jets, because you guys weren't, like, I wouldn't ever. And so we know how awesome it is. Now, with that being said, we know how much energy this stadium's going to have on Sunday, and every bit counts. Every little bit counts. That's why I find myself, after every away game that's essentially a home game, I try to thank the fans because they've been awesome, right? And so it's the same thing here. This energy that I want it to be played up in that sense, but for us to do anything different would mean I'm not doing my job for the first 8 weeks of the season, right? And so, but I'm appreciative to be in this rivalry game. I'm appreciative of the players and the coaches that have coached it and played it in the past. Like, I feel very honored that I can be part of this rivalry game. But I'm just saying, just in the sense of us and our preparation, like, you know, again, that first year I had those T-shirts that said "Beat Dallas," and like that. Not that it backfired, but you know, people were like, "Well, how dare he say?" Like, how? What? Yeah, we do want to beat Dallas, right? But I just don't think that the preparation or the weekly, the things that you go about your business weekly, because this could happen for everyone. Okay, Jalen's playing against Tua, or like, just go about your business, right? Just go about your business for a week. Or we're going to play in Buffalo, whatever. Oh, I'm going home. Just go about your business. You can't let those things distract your attention to detail and all the things that you go about throughout the week. But fans, let's go. It's Dallas week, and so we're going to need that. Dallas has to feel that. Dallas has to feel that when they come in here, that it means a little bit extra to the people in those seats, and it's going to be loud, and it's going to be a hostile environment.
That being said, Nick, if you look ahead, has that evolved for you?
I'm looking at you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
If you look ahead, because I know you can't treat this bigger than a need, and what you said is perfectly said, but this could be a game that decides the number one seed, because these are two great teams, not the division. So the magnitude of this one is ramped up, is it not? Good question on that, but like, there's a lot of football to be played after that, right? And we can only play one game at a time, and so you know, I just don't think of it that way, and I'm not asking for anyone to understand that mindset, and I'm not asking anyone to understand our team's mindset there, but we have to completely go about our business every single day and just try to go 1-0 today, so we can try to go 1-0 this week. Has that, going back to John's question, has that sentiment from you evolved from that year one? You bring up, obviously, rivalry games, you bring up the Beat Dallas T-shirts. Did you learn from that? So obviously your preparation always stays the same.
Yeah, because again, like, yes, we want to win every game that we go out there and play. Obviously, that's the goal. But your goal day in, day out is to put yourself in position to go 1-0 that week, right? And so I would say that the mindset is just completely focused on the day leading into the week and not looking ahead to anything. So yeah, I think that changes. I think that changes with your role as a coach too. I think sometimes as an offensive coordinator, like, it's easy to be able to say, all right, who's next after this, because I'm planning some things but your job as the head coach is to make sure everybody's locked in to the day, the situation. So I think that comes a little bit with the difference of roles, and that was week 3. And so, of course, everything that I'm trying to, if I'm asking the guys to improve every day, then I need to improve every day and be, and the only way you can do that is to, you know, have a process that you stick to, and that doesn't mean you don't change the process. You're always trying to perfect the process. But yeah, of course, I've grown in many ways since, you know, day one of coming the head football coach.
I understand you were asked about Kenny in the red zone. Can you explain the decision to have him as your number 2 versus Boston and Rashad?
Yeah, he's the number 2 because I think I was asked about this too, and I said there's things that you don't see that were obviously in practice. He's our number 2 because we believe it right now. He's the second best running back on our team. You know, that's based off games, that's based off past games, that's based off practice, that's based off the whole body of work, not just, you know, and I obviously understand where that question is coming from. But, you know, I didn't get this question last week when he ran over two guys in the Miami game and got into the end zone, because we were all singing his praises. And also the same thing in the playoffs last year when he gave us some very valuable carries. But I understand that's your guys' job. But if I were to just say, okay, Kenny fumbled the ball in the red zone, that's it. He's going to number 3. Then that wouldn't be consistent of what we do with any. I don't. And Jalen throws an interception, he doesn't come out. And Brian or myself call a call that results in a turnover. I don't turn the play call duties over to Kevin. This happens over and over and over. There's mistakes that happen. If AJ drops a ball, we don't say to him, I don't know if he's dropped one in a couple weeks, but we don't say to him, we ain't throwing it to him anymore. And so that's the same philosophy here. And Kenny's our number 2 back because he's our number 2 back because of his body of work.
Nick, along those lines, the running game hasn't really been firing as well as we've seen it these last couple weeks. And this is a Dallas defense that, statistically can be run on. Why do you think the reason is for kind of being stuck a little bit in the run game? And do you think this Dallas defense can be run on?
I just think it's a week-to-week game. Games are, you do whatever you need to do to win that football game. So opportunity has been a little bit with the run game. We've been throwing the ball more, right? And so, why is the run game not working? We haven't given that as much opportunity as the pass game because we felt like last game it was more to win the game, to score 30-plus points, which we did. It was to throw the ball, and so that when you look at it just as stats, then yeah, that's fair. But then we're always trying to put ourselves in position to win the game, period. And if we have to throw it 50 times, we'll throw it 50 times. We got to run it 50 times, we'll run it 50 times. That's just what we'll do to win the game. So I think a little bit that's been opportunity because of a success that we've had throwing it, and that's why.
Nick, Dak's had a lot of success against you guys since you've been here. What are some of the keys to slowing him down, things maybe you haven't done in the past against him?
Yeah, obviously I can't give you all that stuff because then that's giving. But Dak has had success because Dak's a very good player. I have a lot of respect for Dak and Coach McCarthy and the weapons and CD Lamb and the weapons that they have over there. And so he's done really well against us the last couple times he's played us, and so. Just like any quarterback, what I'll say is, it's like any quarterback, you have to try to confuse, you have to try to hit him, and to try to, knock him off his rhythm. And so, but can't tell you how much respect I have for Dak. I just feel like he's one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL, and we have our hands full going into this game to make sure that we contain him.
There he is, head coach Nick Sirianni. Competitive advantage. He didn't say it, but he was about to say competitive advantage. I can't tell you how we're going to try to stop Dak Prescott. Of course, his press conferences are always brought to us by Corporal's Bakery and Deli, world-famous tomato pie with hoagie and party trays. Every bit is good. Now, here's the deal. I'll react to some of the things Sirianni said coming up next, not just about the Eagles-Cowboys rivalry, but he did talk about the Eagles-Cowboys rivalry, and it basically leads exactly what I've been saying. And I guarantee you there's somebody out there saying, well, the head coach shouldn't really get into the rivalry. But y'all love Buddy for it, didn't you? We'll react to that more, and I know that everybody dropped off during the press conference, so the lines are back open. Feel free to climb in at 610-632-0975 as we continue this conversation about the Eagles and Cowboys. And I have something on the Sixers as well that, I've been saving. We've been so into this conversation with you guys today that I haven't gotten to the Sixers thing that I wanted to play for you from earlier today. It was about Joel Embiid and keeping him happy. We'll play that next right here, 97.5 The Fanatic. Now, let me tell you about New Look Home Design. New Look Home Design has great offers for you, and they do a great job, too. So you might think, I do this for you all the time, right? And you're probably thinking, man, they got all these great deals, but that means the work's probably not all that good. Let me tell you what the work, before I even get to the deals. So New Look is a GAF Master Elite contractor. This status is only offered to less than 2% of roofing contractors in North America. The people that have earned this designation have exhibited an uncompromising commitment to the highest standards in sales, service, and installation, and have pledged to ensure that each customer receives the best choice in roofing. Okay? So less than 2%. That means they do a pretty good job. They also give you great deals. 50% off materials. That's 50% off siding and roofing. And if you get any full roof or siding replacement, you're also going to get free gutters. And on top of all of it, 0% interest-free financing for 5 years. You try to buy a car right now, you try to buy a house right now, the interest rates are ridiculous. And if you call right now, 1-800-279-5300, you'll have dinner on them. You schedule a free consultation. They will come out. If you mention my name, they'll give you a $100 restaurant.com gift card. And oh, by the way, I talk about more deals, 5% off extra for senior citizens, teachers, military, and first responders. So great work and also great deals. Give them a call, 1-800-279-5300. That's 1-800-279-5300, or visit them online at newlookhomedesign.com. That's newlookhomedesign.com.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Birds, stand pat. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by Unbound.org. A girl in Kenya dreams of becoming a doctor. An elder in Guatemala dreams of being part of a community. Reach out and change their world, and it will change your own. Unbound.org. The Eagles didn't make a trade on the NFL's trade deadline day. Trade deadline was yesterday at 4 p.m. Eagles traded defensive tackle David Street in a 2025 7th-round pick for a conditional 2024 6th-round pick on Monday. They also acquired safety Kevin Byard last week from the Titans via trade. So they did make some trades leading up to the deadline, but none on deadline day. The big roster moves today is elevating wide receiver Julio Jones to the active roster and opening up the 21-day practice window for Cam Jurgens. The Eagles preparing for the Cowboys at the Link this Sunday at 4:25. Reaction continues across the NBA to the James Harden deal. 76ers dealt Harden, PJ Tucker, and Philip Petrusev to the Clippers early Tuesday morning in exchange for 4 players and 4 picks, as well as a pick swap. Expectation around the NBA is that 76ers will use the assets acquired to pursue another star. Sixers host the Raptors tomorrow night. Matt Breen joined the show to break down what's going on with the Birds and talk a little bit about that Harden deal. You can catch that conversation one more time at 97.5thefanatic.com. Flyers back in action tonight at home against the Sabres. Flyers trying to bounce back from back-to-back losses. You catch the live call right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Keep it locked here for all the latest news and information. I'm Ray Dunn, the home for the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic.
Philly Sports Tonight. Discussion on the big stories we've been talking about all day. Coming up tonight at 6 on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Hi, it's John Kincaid. You realize it's getting cold out, right? But it's not supposed to be cold inside your house. You realize that, right? Those old drafty windows, it's going to make your furnace work in overdrive this winter. So what do you want to do? Do you want to pay unnecessarily high energy bills? Of course not. You want to call Window Nation at 866-90Nation. And you want to check them out online at windownation.com because their energy-efficient windows are designed for climate changes, and they're going to help keep the cold out during the winter, and they're also going to help you lower your monthly energy costs by up to 30%. This month only. Check out this offer. Window Nation's offering 0% interest for 5 years. Are you kidding me? Nobody's doing this in business. That's 60 months interest-free. And get 2 free windows for every 2 that you buy. So you're protecting your family from the elements, you're lowering your energy costs, you're upgrading the look of your home, and you're feeling just so good about the deal you got from Window Nation. 5 years interest-free? That's nuts. Call 2 free windows for every 2 that you buy, but in November, that's 0% interest for 5 years. Call the company over 200,000 families have trusted with their home. Window Nation. Call 866-90Nation. Go to windownation.com. Tell them Kincaid sent you.
The holidays are here, and if you're making a list and checking it twice, let the Preferred Pros make that list shorter by checking off your home improvement projects. Whether you need experts to help keep your home cozy warm, remove the junk and clutter, or help to keep your holiday gifts safe, we have just the pros for you.
Volpe Enterprises. It's time to make your windows remarkable and affordable. Call Volpe Enterprises. 1-855-GO-VOLPE.
An organized home is a happy home. Enjoy unmatched quality and a lifetime warranty on closets, pantries, offices, and more from the Closet Works, Inc. ClosetWorksINC.com.
J-Dog Junk Removal. Got junk and want it gone? Trust J-Dog, your local veteran-owned and operated junk removal and hauling pros. School, sports, after-school activities, time is short. So lose the stress and visit J-Dog Junk Removal, RDSC.com.
Check out Preferred Pros today. This paid program is sponsored by businesses highly rated by actual customers. For more details on Preferred Pros, visit 97.5thefanatic.com.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Get big savings and big rewards during Provember at Lowe's. Right now, MVP's members earn 3 times the bonus points on DeWalt products and save $200 on a DeWalt sliding compound miter saw. Plus, earn 3 times the bonus points on Little Giant products and save $70 on a Little Giant multi-position 14-foot ladder. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. While supplies last, selection varies by location. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Valid through 11/22.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. I'm about to tell you a secret that'll make the insurance companies madder than a wet hen. Major insurance companies use a software called Colossus to tell them what the firm you hire is likely to settle your case for. Google it yourself. They know which law firms can lowball and take the last best offer, not us. Google our firm and see billions recovered from those very same insurance companies. They know who we are, and now you know it too. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. Listen to the John Kincaid Show and the best show ever for the Flyers and Sixers beautiful blend of the week. When it's game time, it's Tully time.
Don't miss Coach Sirianni's press conference after every game, brought to you by the AAA Eagles MVP Experience, offering discounts, rewards, and experiences no Eagles fan will want to miss. Go to AAA.com/Eagles and become an MVP today.
Guys, basketball season has begun, and the big question is, will this Philadelphia team rise to the occasion this year? But the bigger question is, will you? Hi, this is Dr. Avi Donapel of Iron Mountain Men's Health. If you're experiencing ED or low testosterone, our team of physicians can help with a custom program designed to treat your symptoms that's safe, effective, and affordable. And if you're struggling to lose weight, we now offer prescription Ozempic too. Schedule a free consultation at ironmountainmenshealth.com. Iron Mountain Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station. Official home of the Sixers, Flyers, Union, and the best Eagles talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic.
12:51, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Salchunas. Taking you until 2 o'clock. Best show ever. Just saw Tyrone and Ricky and Jen and Dylan. Very strange walking into work today. There was just a pair of pants in the hallway. Like, sometimes, like when you're driving and you see a shoe on the side of the road, like, why is there a shoe there? Like, was somebody driving with their foot out and the shoe fell off? Did they just not like the shoe anymore, so they threw the shoe out the window? Now you're just being a jerk. Like, don't litter. But I've kind of grown accustomed to it. You see a couch cushion. But to see a pair of pants in the hallway is very strange to me. Now, I've been told, actually, no, I found out for a fact because I spoke with the source himself. It was Ricky Patalico's shorts. So Ricky Bo had a pair of shorts out in the hallway. Now, yesterday he was that marshmallow guy. And so I don't know what was going on underneath the costume. I thought it was cool that they wore the costume. Did he wear it the whole show? Do we know? Because he told me he probably wasn't going to.
I just enjoyed watching the first segment with him trying to figure out the headphones and holding the headphones, and that was fun while he still had the head on. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I was just back there at the YouTube setup, crouched over, watching laughing.
Yeah. So I need to know the backstory of the pants. Like, how do pants just... I'm guessing he changed. And then, but it was like they were in a weird spot. And nobody's picking up the pants. Like, I'm not picking up the pants. I ain't touching those pants, especially if they're under that costume. I know how hot those things get. I ain't touching those pants. So he picked up the pants. But the weird thing is, I saw him, and I said, "Did you pick up your shorts?" He goes, "Oh, no, I didn't." So then he went into the hallway to pick up the shorts. So if I didn't say something, the shorts would have still been out there.
He walked in, walked past the shorts,
shorts,
and did not pick up said shorts.
No.
Do we want to give him the benefit of the doubt of thinking maybe he didn't see them?
Maybe he could have been buried in the phone. Maybe, for all I know.
I'll be honest. The number of people that came in while I was sitting at that desk getting
That
ready
made
for
a
today
comment about
that
the
made
shorts?
a comment about the shorts.
Everyone did.
Yeah. I was kind of over the shorts conversation. So if he didn't see it, I mean, it's kind of tough on him because literally everyone else in this building saw the shorts.
But then when I said your short, did you pick up your shorts? He said, oh, I forgot that my shorts are out there. So he knew the shorts were there. Just strange.
Did he drop them on the way out? Was like, I'll get those tomorrow?
Maybe. So he went in, he grabbed the shorts, he put them next to his backpack. So we know they're Ricky Bo's shorts, and we know that they're back to the rightful owner. But just weird that he would walk past the shorts on the floor in the hallway, outside of the studio.
Very strange.
And when I say outside of the studio, for the people listening, I don't mean like the studio that I'm currently in, like outside of our suite in the building. You know, we're suite 401. He left him just in the hallway next to the stairwell. It's weird to me. Quite weird. But he picked up the shorts.
Glad that it ended up being his shorts because that was a great mystery this morning.
Yes.
Was wondering if maybe things got a little crazy Philly sports tonight. So glad that we got the solution on whose shorts those are.
Yeah. Speaking of other members of the station, our great Matt Menark gave me a present today, to which I already re-gifted to you there in the studio.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. Very confused you walking in during the update. But
So Matt Menark walks in and goes, here, I went to Wawa and got some of your favorite things. Jerkoff got me salt and vinegar chips and a Kit Kat bar. Two things I dislike.
Did you really just re-gift the salt and vinegar and not the Kit Kat bar?
Oh, yeah, the Kit Kat's in the bag. It's one, like, it's the fun size.
Okay, that's fine
like,
with
I
me.
forgot that it was in there. I mean, the salt and vinegar is a big bag of chips.
That's right, but when we had the conversation, I wasn't really going down with the fight on the salt and vinegar chips.
Okay, but you want the Kit Kat?
Yeah, big
All right,
time.
I'll bring you the Kit Kat bar.
It's okay. I have plenty of leftover Halloween candy.
All right, so Halloween was last night, and we'll continue the conversation on the rivalry in a second because I know people are back on board, and I have something from Nick Sirianni regarding the rivalry that I want to talk about. But the Halloween eras, we kind of touched on this earlier. Would love to hear from more of you on this at 610-632-0975. What is the best era of your specific life when it comes to Halloween? And I go, top is college Halloween time because you're at the parties and it's, I mean, come on. I don't have to really go into detail. You know what I mean? Like, it's just bunnies hopping around all over the place, cats meowing. You know. Oh, I'm a football player, and it's a jersey and nothing else. Like,
come on. A little more effort.
No.
Yeah.
I don't want more effort. I like the lack of effort when it comes to this conversation. So Halloween when you're in college is number one. It's a toss-up between number two for childhood, you know, as the fat kid going up door to door getting candy. Like, that's awesome. But also last night, I was sitting in the driveway because I didn't want the doorbell ringing, waking up Coop. I was in the driveway drinking a beer. I had a fire behind me. I had a box of pizza. The guy asked me, could you throw a piece of pizza into my kid's trick-or-treat bag? I figured that would be disgusting. And then I had a couple beers, and, you know, here's the candy. It was almost like another night, but seeing, you know, talking to neighbors. It's nice. That might be better than actually going trick-or-treating. Like, did you ever finish your candy as a kid?
I don't think so.
No. I have a couple pieces, and then you've had candy for the last 4 days. Like, you're tired of it. Yes, sir, it was a nice night. Oh, I'm just trying to think what the best era is.
Yeah, I mean, I literally now have a full bowl of candy.
Right.
I got nothing.
Yeah.
I got nothing. And I'm not going to be the guy that's just wandering around with a bowl of candy. Like, now you're the creep.
Yeah, no, that's
like
true.
So there was nothing I could do.
Come here to work and drop it off.
Right. Well, I forgot about that this
That's what
morning.
a lot of people
a lot of people
are doing. So, and I'll probably do the same thing.
So, but like that to me, you know, there was the excitement of meeting everyone out to go. So I don't know how that will compare to the excitement of the get to talk to the neighbors, seeing everyone smile, and, you know, like you said,
you'll get there one day.
Yeah, I'm going to say this post college,
it's fun.
I like it. I enjoyed
it's similar to the college experience, but probably a little bit more. Probably less risque because you missed out on it because of COVID. I would say a little less risque, and people have jobs, so like you're at bars as opposed to like the grungy college basements that I was in.
Yeah.
Still risque, though.
Let's get back to the football.
All right, so the Eagles-Cowboys rivalry, we've been talking about this today. And I make the case that it's not the same, nowhere near the same as it used to be, right? And I say since 2000, when I really started getting into sports, Cowboys are irrelevant, right? I was born and raised to hate the Cowboys, but my own personal experiences, the Giants are the team I hate more. You know why? The Giants won 2 Super Bowls. Up until 2017, the Eagles had won 0. I didn't see the Cowboys win a Super Bowl. I saw the Giants, who the Eagles were better than, win 2. That pissed me off. Made me jealous, made me sad, made me angry. Never saw the Cowboys win squat. Okay, they win the division a few times. What did they do? They lost in the second round of the playoffs. They didn't even get to the NFC Championship game. Since 2000, the Eagles have been in 7 of them. They've been in 3 Super Bowls. 3 more than the Cowboys, 7 more than the Cowboys since 2000. So to me, that rivalry isn't there. Even though the Cowboys have won the majority of the games recently, doesn't matter. The Eagles are the better team. They're the better franchise. I'm happy to be an Eagles fan. The only thing that is still annoying is the local Cowboys fan. But what do they even have to say anymore? They got nothing. They are becoming irrelevant. The only reason why they're relevant is when they call into radio stations like this. And the only reason why the Cowboys as a team are relevant is because ESPN doesn't stop talking about them. Even though they're not that good of a football team. They're good. You get what I'm saying. Eagles are better. So Nick Sirianni, during his press conference, was asked all about the rivalry. And a couple years ago, he wore the Beat Dallas shirt, which I thought at the time was weird, even though I didn't care about any of his other T-shirts. I did think that was kind of weird. And it was weird because a lot of people didn't like it. Here, I think people didn't really like Sirianni yet because it was year 1 of him, and people didn't like the introductory press conference and made too early of a judgment call. Like, it's okay. Don't read a book by its cover. And so Sirianni wears the T-shirt. Not many people really like it. They got beat up. And since then, he has not worn the Beat Dallas shirt. So Sirianni, he was asked about the rivalry, and he said that he's treating this game as any other. You can't get up for one game more than the other because then you say that you lost the Jets game because you weren't up as much for the Jets game. He appreciates being a head coach for the Philadelphia Eagles as a part of the historic rivalry of Eagles-Cowboys, and he appreciates the history, just like I appreciate the history. I understand that somebody that was born in the 70s hates the Cowboys more than somebody that's born in the 90s because I wasn't really, cognizant of what was going on in the 90s with the Cowboys. You were. So I understand why you would hate it more than me. But all I'm trying to say is nowadays it's just not the same. And for Nick Sirianni to say, I'm treating this like any other game, I'm sure there's a lot of Eagles fans right now in the car going, well, he should. He should treat it like any other game. But you celebrated Buddy Ryan for making it bigger, making the rivalry personal. You celebrated that. You know how I know that even though I wasn't around? You guys still talk about it. I had a guy call in last year, said he wished Buddy Ryan was the head coach of the Eagles and not Nick Sirianni. Last year, a guy called in and said that when the Eagles were 14-3 and going to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like, you guys celebrated Buddy Ryan so much that you still talk about him, and I know that you definitely celebrated when he would take shots at the Cowboys in press conferences. So miss me with the whole, well, he should focus on the rivalry or on the matchup ahead and not worry about the team. Because he celebrated it when Buddy did it. The fact that Sirianni doesn't do it anymore shows you that the rivalry isn't the same. And it's not even close. The players don't show it. The only guys that still kind of show it are the guys from the 90s. Like, I know Michael Irvin talked about it the other day, that the Eagles have 2 plays, the tush-push and a throw-downfield to A.J. Brown. He's probably saying that because he's also got the Cowboys' blood still inside him. You know what I mean? It's just not the same anymore. So I'd love to talk to you about it as we close out the show. Final hour ahead, 610-632-0975. And before I get to back to the phones, one more thing from Sirianni. And he loves Kenny G. He loves Kenneth Gainwell. Because he once again brought up the Hurts and A.J. Brown thing. We don't bench Hurts when he throws a pick. We don't bench A.J. Brown if he drops a football. Jalen Hurts is your $200 million franchise quarterback. A.J. Brown is Terrell Owens. Of course you're not going to bench those guys. Because you know what's going to happen the next play? He's probably going to make something happen. A.J. Brown will probably, if he drops one on 2nd and 10, he'll catch it on 3rd and 10. Jalen Hurts throws a pick, you know he's going out to the next drive doing something. If Kenneth Gainwell fumbles the football inside the red zone, he's not coming out to the next drive and getting a 50-yard run. You know how I know that? Because he didn't last week. He should not be on the field this week in a major game against the Cowboys. Rivalry aside, look at the division standings. You can't have screw-ups in this game. You can't make mistakes in this game. I do not trust Kenneth Gainwell at all. What I did find interesting was, Kenny G's our number 2. Did you notice he said that?
Oh, yeah.
He didn't say he's a part of a room. He said he's our number 2 back. That's something he doesn't normally say, Sirianni. But he said Kenneth Gainwell's our number 2 back. Caught that. All right, let's go back to the phones. Uncle Frank. What's up, Uncle Frank?
Happy Hump Day. Give me another H, right? Homies. Happy Hump Day, homies. All right, listen. It's Dallas week. Where the hell is all the alacrity? Okay, listen.
The alacrity was 30 years ago, Uncle Frank.
No, I'm going to explain to you why, if you let me speak.
Yes, please. Well, you asked me the question where the alacrity is. I told you 30 years ago.
Don't you take the air out of the room. Boys, just pull up your bar stool, open a beer, sit there and listen. This team has chapped my ass for well over 50 years. Every mother, father, there's an ode to Ant, component of the organization, all the dirty, covert machinations of the organization. I remember that jerk-off Chuck Halley, the linebacker who broke Tim Brown's jaw via sissy sucker punch to their fans, our local fans, who are Dallas fans, to the J.O. national pundit who coined them America's team, which is total BS.
Mm-hmm.
To all the pompous-ass coaches from Landry to Jimmy Johnson to Barry friggin' Switzer and all the lame-ass, weak-minded coaches who say, yes to whatever that old feeble-minded over-the-hill creep owner and that inane, stupid-ass stadium. You have to understand, this has festered for a long, long time. So,
look, and I've said it, Uncle Frank, I said it all show. I understand why people hate the Cowboys. My question today is the rivalry still the same? Do you still have that same juice? Do you still have that same energy on Cowboys week?
Yes, absolutely.
Because you're talking about Barry Switzer and Tom Landry and Jimmy Johnson. Well, what about the Clapper and Mike McCarthy?
Well,
those are the last 2 coaches. They sucked.
I refer to the lame-ass, weak-minded coaches who say yes to that.
Yeah, but I don't hate Mike McCarthy because he's the coach of the Cowboys. I hate Mike McCarthy that he's employed. He stinks.
I hate him and the Clapper just looking at them.
Yeah.
I don't
like that they're employed. It's offensive to me.
Listen, damn you. It's the Celtics and the Cowboys. It'll never change for me.
And I get that, but you also understand where I'm coming from, right? So, for me, I'm a lot of Phillies fans. The Braves are the team they hate the most. For me, it's the Mets.
And I feel you, and we're all La Familia, so you got to understand the old heads.
Well, and that's why today's show has been a show of all generations. I wanted everybody to chime in, but my question is specifically, like the last 3 years, Uncle Frank, what have you hated about the Cowboys in the last 3 years?
Everything, the star, nothing's changed.
I'm talking about the players specifically. Thanks for the call. I appreciate it. MVP, Uncle Frank. Seriously, the last 3 years, what has been there to hate? Dak sucks. Zeke was washed before he went to New England. Does anyone actually hate CeeDee Lamb?
Talk to me one day.
Yeah, well, yeah, when he goes 6 catches, 150 yards and a touchdown, maybe. But seriously, there's nothing to it. There's no rivalry anymore. I hated Barry Switzer. He's not the head coach anymore. Do you hate Mike McCarthy? Has Mike McCarthy said anything offensive to you?
The no rivalry, I think, is a step further than where we've been today.
I'm sorry. The rivalry will forever be there. I get it. I'm saying, is the juice still there? There hasn't been anything the last couple of years. Like Phillies Braves, even though it's Phillies Mets for me, Phillies Braves is back, right? Two straight playoff series. The Orlando Arcia Attaboy Harper thing, that's going to be there for a couple of years now. But man, since 2017. We have had more hatred for the Minnesota Vikings. It's now turned into the San Francisco 49ers. Where's been the Cowboys hate the last 5 years?
Again, it's the historical hate. It's the taught hate. That's where we're at.
Fine.
But the rivalry is still there to that point. Like the rivalry, this is morphed into, again, the divisional opponent that you need to beat because, and right now it's the conference because, we heard in the Sirianni presser conversation about like this is something that could decide the top seed. This is something that could obviously decide the division. It's about the battle of two teams. I do think the way this is trending and the way these two teams are moving towards like the end of this season, I wouldn't be surprised if the juice is there by the time we get to
but that's also just because of the status of the division.
Well, yeah, but that'll launch the juice.
Yeah, but here's the deal. I feel like the Cowboys are going to get rid of Dak after this season. Like Zeke's gone.
Well, again, yeah, we've said the players really haven't done it for you, where you haven't been player driven. But again, I go back to how I said the Montgomery touchdown was that moment for that generation where it was like, that was because it was consequential. And you think about back in that era, like the number of playoff teams, the number of times that you were going to meet this team. This was the team that you were battling with to get yourself where you need to go. And you're thinking about what they had done in the 70s. And then that happens the 80-81 season. Then you go, obviously, to what they do in the 90s. And you feel like, the battles late 80s, early 90s with Buddy was something where one of those teams was building towards something. One of those teams was building to get to that level. And the Cowboys got to the level. And you hated them for that. And you hated that. If the Cowboys return to relevance or desire to return to relevance runs through the Eagles and we can stop that for them, I think that launches the juice, that reinvigorates a little bit more of what this rivalry was than what it's become because the Cowboys, again, haven't been to the top of the mountain in a very, very long time.
No, they haven't been. And it would be great to be like the final nail in the coffin again for another season of the Cowboys, like a couple of years ago when the Eagles were 5-7 and went on that 4-game winning streak and beat the Cowboys and knocked them out of the division race. Like all that's great, but that's just division period because you need to beat them in order to get to the playoffs. Same with the Commanders and the Giants. Like you have to beat those teams, and nobody has the hatred of the Commanders or the Giants the way that people have the hatred toward the Cowboys. But all I'm saying is in the last couple of years, man, it really hasn't meant anything. And yeah, the Cowboys have been a good team, but the Cowboys haven't been good enough. The Eagles have been. And when the Eagles win the division again this year, I'll go back to this conversation today and be like, yeah, see, we're the better team. And next year we'll have the same conversation. And people will try to tell us that the rivalry is alive and well and blah, blah, blah. And then I'll say, well, what happened last year? Again, the Eagles are the better team. Cowboys got knocked out. And the Cowboys aren't that good. Until the Cowboys beat the Eagles in a meaningful game, it has meant nothing in the last 10 years or last 10 matchups. It's meant nothing. Cowboys are 8-3 in the last 11 games between the two teams. 8-3. And I keep on bringing it up. In that span, the Eagles have won a Super Bowl, been back to another, have won the division 3 times. Cowboys have done nothing. So what does it really mean anymore? 610-632-0975. One open line. We got final segment coming up. We'll continue this conversation. Does the rivalry really mean as much to you as it used to? I'm sure that you still have a burning hatred toward the Cowboys. That's fine. But, I don't know. Did we get a call on Monday? It's Cowboys week. No? I used to in the past. We don't even mention, if I didn't bring it up today, would we have talked about it? Would somebody have called in and said, how come we haven't talked to Eagles-Cowboys yet?
Today, probably.
Today, probably? All right. I'll take your word for it. We continue the conversation next right here, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Birds, Dave, Pat, I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MADD-HELP or visit MADD.org. The Eagles didn't make a trade on the NFL's trade deadline day. Deadline was yesterday at 4 p.m. Eagles traded defensive tackle Katavius Street and a 2025 7th-round pick for a conditional 2024 6th-round pick on Monday. And, of course, last week they acquired safety Kevin Byard from Titans. So nothing on deadline day, but they were busy in the week leading up to it. In terms of roster news today, the Eagles elevate wide receiver Julio Jones to the active roster and open up the 21-day practice window for guard Cam Jurgens. Preparing now for the Cowboys at the Link this weekend. It's Sunday at 4. 25. The reaction continues to the Harden deal across the NBA. 76ers dealt Harden, PJ Tucker, and Philip Petrusev to the Clippers early Tuesday morning in exchange for 4 players, 4 picks, and a pick swap. Expectation around the NBA is that the 76ers will use the assets acquired to pursue another star. Sixers host the Raptors tomorrow night. Matt Breen joined the show to talk all things Birds and that Harden deal. You can catch that conversation one more time at 97.5thefanatic.com. Flyers back in action tonight at home against the Sabres. Flyers trying to bounce back from back-to-back losses. You can catch the live call right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Keep it locked here for all the latest news and information. I'm Ray Don, the home for the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic.
The Philadelphia Flyers play here. Coming up tonight, Tim Saunders has the play-by-play. Your home for the Flyers is 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Hey, it's John Kincaid for the American Association for Cancer Research. And you know, as a 2-time cancer survivor that is soon hoping to make it a threesome, I know firsthand that donations supporting cancer research are the key to finding a cure. That's why I'm excited about the AACR's First-Time Donor Match Challenge. And it runs through the end of the year. All first-time donators received today through December 31st will be matched for twice the impact. So no amount's too small. Every dollar counts twice during the challenge period. And your support helps propel the work of the next generation of people that are pioneering cancer research. Collaboration is critical to making new discoveries, diagnosing, treating, and one day curing cancer. So if you've never donated to the AACR, now's the perfect time because your dollars will go twice as far thanks to the AACR's First-Time Donor Match Challenge. Go to aacr.org/fanatic. That's aacr.org/fanatic and give what you can. I'm living proof that cancer research saves lives, and I'm hoping that the third time's a charm.
Hey guys, Bob Cooney here. Imagine if your favorite casino came with an undo button. Well, guess what? You get that with FanDuel Casino's Play It Again. Get up to $1,000 back if you're down after your first day. Play your favorite table games and hundreds of slots for real cash. See why FanDuel Casino is the #1 rated online casino app? I've told you so many times how much fun it is to look at their daily and their weekly promotions. And when you play with a live dealer. And should you ever have any questions, the best in-class customer support team, they are there all the time. Sign up for FanDuel Casino with FanDuel.com/Bob today and play it again with up to $1,000 back if you're down after your first day. That's FanDuel.com/Bob.
21 plus and present in PA must not have previously placed any wager on FanDuel Sportsbook, FanDuel Casino, Betfair Casino, Mohegan Sun Casino, or Stardust Casino. Refund issued as non-withdrawable casino-only site credit that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/casino. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit FanDuel.com/RG.
Individual rates, offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all states and situations.
Hey, small business owner. Are you ready to have the best year ever in 2024? When's the last time you checked your workers' comp rate? For many small businesses, workers' comp insurance is one of their biggest costs. But Pi Insurance could save you up to 30% in just 3 minutes. Go to trypi.com, share a few details about your business, and get a quote that's customized for your business. No hassles or hidden fees. We know you're busy, but spending just a few minutes to check your rate could make this your best year ever. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified. See how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote at trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
O'Reilly.
O'Reilly Auto Parts' new Brake Best Select Pro brand raises the bar for the best aftermarket domestic brake pads and rotors available. For vehicle-specific friction formulations, Quiet-Tech noise-canceling shims, and stainless steel hardware, choose Brake Best Select Pro. Professional-grade brakes from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Save on stuff you really need and stuff you bought for fun. Stuff you've always really wanted this holiday at Amazon. Stuff that is discounted if you're naughty or you're nice. Stuff to buy your grandma who drinks her Chardonnay with ice. Stuff to make you big and strong. Stuff we can't name in this song. Stuff for lawns and decking halls. Save big on stuff at Amazon. Stuff.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
We all know Philly sports is big business, and we've got you covered every weekday with the Fanatic's Business of Sports reports that are powered by Pico for Business. For information on how your company can save with Pico's incentives, go to pico.com/business.
The Hess truck's back and it's better than ever to the rescue this year. The Hess truck's here.
It's the Hess police truck and cruiser with sirens, lights, wheelie action, and battering ram. Free shipping and batteries included. Only at HessToyTruck.com.
Happy 62nd birthday, Granddad.
Thanks, sweetheart.
I got you this.
A mug. What does it say? Beware. If you are 60 or older, you may be at increased risk of serious consequences from RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, compared to adults younger than 60.
Not all dangers come with warning labels. Talk to your pharmacist or doctor about getting vaccinated against RSV today. RSV vaccines, including Pfizer's, are available. Learn more at bewareofrsv.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Welcome to the Fanatic family. This is 97.5 The Fanatic.
You know, I feel attacked at this station. I feel attacked. Like, I feel like I'm back in elementary school getting picked on. So I walk out, you know, it's the holiday season. Halloween holiday season, that is, of course. And earlier today, Mike Vito and Bob Cooney both brought their leftover candy. You know, kids that didn't get the candy yesterday, they brought it in. And they dumped it out on the little table out there. Up for grabs, right? Crunch bars, Kit Kat bars, Reese's Cups, Butterfingers, you know, all kinds of candies out there, including the Whopper. Not the Whopper, Whopper, chicken, Whopper. No, the Whopper candy. You know what some a-hole did? I don't know who did it. But there's an a-hole out there that did it. They separated the Whoppers and put them in their own pile. As if the Whopper is not good enough to be with the other candy. And then I go out there. Who did this? Oh, of course you like the Whopper. Because you like trash. I feel attacked, Ray. You know, this never would have been a conversation had it just been in part of the pile. But no, for some reason, we're kicking the Whopper out of the group. It could have sat there with all the other candies. But no, I feel attacked, man. I feel like there are messages thrown at me all the time. I'm getting emotional just thinking about it.
They're right.
Are you serious? Like, why can't you just leave it part of the pile?
Whopper's trash.
You can't leave it part of the pile. Like it took more energy to separate the Whopper than would have been to just ignore it. Ignore the Whopper. Leave it there. It's okay.
Well, it's getting in the way of me getting the candy that's actually good.
It goes back to the oatmeal cookie thing.
Yeah, which you're also like. I don't know if you start to see a pattern here of you just being on the wrong side of all of these. But if you can't see it, let me open your eyes.
What?
You have no taste.
Dylan's walking around with his thumbs down. You can bring him. Is there any left?
Of course, there's plenty left.
No, I'm saying in that he's about to throw out his package. I would have eaten the rest of those Whoppers that were in that package.
There's plenty of Whoppers left.
I didn't want him to waste one or two. It's a quality candy that's being wasted.
No, it's not. Nobody's eating it. It's not being wasted.
I just ate one during the break.
Yes, only you. Stand alone on this island.
I feel attacked at this damn radio station, man.
Oh.
Just leave it a part of the pile and forget about it,
find
okay?
Crimea River.
And here you are. Oh, it's trash. It shouldn't even be a part of it. Like, geez, I figured in 2023 we just let everybody get together, coexist. You know that bumper sticker people have on their cars, coexist. Coexist the candies, man. That ain't right. It ain't right. I get attacked at this station all the time.
Let me get you the world's smallest violin.
I get attacked all the time, man.
Oh, yeah.
Food. And to think, a fellow non-movie man like you, I thought you would have my back.
Oh, good. Yeah, let's just stick the knife in my back.
But that's right. Oh, wait, you haven't seen the classics. So you know what? Maybe I'll start busting your balls. I just get attacked at this station every day. I love the Whopper. Come on. Nah, I got Karate Mark. Whoever separated the Whopper needs to be applauded.
Because he knows.
Come on, bro.
Do you notice the consistent theme on this?
Now, Jared says the Whopper's like the oatmeal raisin cookie. Come on, man.
Look inward.
Come on, man. You guys just don't have taste.
If everyone else doesn't have taste, it might just be you.
I have a higher palate than all of you guys.
No, that's not true. We all know that's not true.
Now, don't disrespect me like this, John, on Twitter. Whopper's the Gainwell of candy. It's serviceable. Gainwell's not even serviceable,
that's
all right?
Good. Actually, great. That's good.
Gainwell deserves to be benched, okay? Gainwell should be separated from all the other players, not the Whopper. Leave the Whopper be. But if you got leftover Whoppers and Baby Ruth bars, bring them on over. Because I'm all about it. Figured, I've been in a joyous mood today. And yet, there's just hatred. It's an attack on me personally.
Yeah. I'm sorry. This is so difficult for you to find out that the candy that is trash that you like, that we've known is trash.
No, you guys just don't understand.
This is what you get for yesterday coming after the Kit Kat.
Kit Kat sucks, dude.
No, it's trash. Pull 100 people. Whopper or Kit Kat?
Whopper, baby.
No, not a single soul.
Let's go to Dan in Phoenixville. What's up, Dan?
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on. So first off, to answer your question, I don't feel the same hate as I did. I am 52, so I mean, nowhere near like back in the Buddy Ryan days or like, some different eras.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing I wanted to give a little different perspective, and I hope I articulate this correctly. Back in the day, like back during the Jimmy Johnson era, they were the road to the Super Bowl and they'd keep the Eagles out, and you hated them for that. But also, you always had that guy or a bunch of them that were Cowboys fans, and they were that guy that, here's the typical traits of the Northeast Cowboy fan. They're that guy when you ask them who their favorite baseball team is, it's the Yankees. Favorite basketball team in college, Duke. Lakers.
College, yeah.
And they were the loudest guy in the room, and they just got under your skin. You knew they never felt any pain because all their teams were good, and they just seemed to be just peppered everywhere when the Cowboys are good. But because now the Cowboys are irrelevant, I wonder if that personality type now is glomming onto different teams. Now they're the Kansas City fan maybe, or the LeBron
Oh,
fan.
dude, I mean, I do this every day, right? So I know Cowboys fans that have said, can I be an Eagles fan now? I know Mets fans that have wanted to be the Phillies fan now. And I think that's even weaker.
Yeah, so I wonder if now that we're not being inundated with that type of personality daily, and it just grinds you, that maybe we're not feeling that hate as much anymore because we just don't have it in our daily lives.
Right, and so like we put out the poll, and 75% of people are voting that the Cowboys fan, the local Cowboys fan, is the thing that they hate the most about the Cowboys rivalry. But we don't hear from them anymore.
Exactly.
Like, they've gone quiet. So, like, that is the prime example of the Eagles-Cowboys rivalry not being the same anymore. The fact that the Cowboys fans aren't calling in anymore.
Right. That's my whole point.
Yeah, no, it's great. Dan, I appreciate the call, man. See, Dan knows. Dan probably likes Whoppers, too, but I was afraid to ask him.
No, you were afraid to ask him because you knew he didn't.
I don't know.
Like most people.
He seemed like a smart man. Dan did.
I can guarantee you go around the Delaware Valley right now, everyone's looking at the candy bowl they left out last night like, why are there so many Whoppers left around, man?
Can I tell you the sweetest story from yesterday?
Sure.
So this kid comes up. I told you I was doing the trick-or-treating on the driveway because I didn't want the doorbell ringing, the dog going nuts, the baby waking up. Right, this little kid comes up and sees in the bowl. You want to talk about trash candy? The Almond Joy.
Oh, terrible.
Tom Alvord, big Almond Joy guy. So last year, all my leftover Almond Joy I brought to him at the station. I got to do that again for him for this year. That'll be his wedding present. Here's some leftover Almond Joy. So this kid, there's the Reese's Cup, right? The Hershey bar, the Crunch bar, the Twix. He grabs an Almond Joy and starts walking away. And I go, oh, buddy, take 2 or 3. Like, we had a lot of candy, right? And I don't need it at the house. I'm like, take a couple more. And he goes, can I take a couple more Almond Joys? I'm like, yeah, buddy, take whatever you like. You want to take another Almond Joy and a Reese's Cup? No, I just really love Almond Joy. So he grabbed like 4 Almond Joys. He ran to his mom and was crying. Tears of joy. Mommy, that nice, man. Let me have more than one Almond Joy. And I was like, that is the sweetest little thing right there. That kid being so happy that he got Almond Joys. And, you know, that kid's a man of my own heart. He probably gets picked on for liking Almond Joys.
See, it's a really sweet story, but when you try and use it as PR to save yourself from the disaster of food takes you have, it becomes a little less sweet.
What? No, I'm just trying to tell you, like, you know, people get happy over the littlest things. Just remember that.
That's what it is.
And if I had, you know what, if I had a bucket of Reese's and everything, but then I had a separate bucket of Almond Joys, that kid may have felt bullied.
No, that kid
I did say a couple days ago that bullying is good, but I wouldn't want to bully that specific kid.
That kid probably would have been like, oh, nice, easy access to the candy nobody wants. I'll take it.
It was the sweetest thing. Like, he literally was crying tears of joy. Like,
yeah, that's really cool.
That's incredible.
Really cool.
Let's go to Brian in East Falls. Brian, you're on the Fanatic.
What's going on, fellas? I just got an alert on my phone from the Supreme Court. South Tunis versus the pile of candy. There's no more bans on segregation of candy.
Yeah, seriously, like, what are we doing here? Like, I felt like that was a hate crime. I walk out there and it's the candy that gets separated is the candy that, yeah, of course, I'm the only guy that likes it. Hey, you guys got to make a mockery of it.
Oh my God. So I wanted to chime in on the Halloween thing first, but so last night I took my son out. We live in Roxborough, Maine, your old stomping grounds over here. So this was his first year trick-or-treating. He just turned 5.
Oh, that's cool.
And compared to, like, I didn't have college experience, but to compare it to, like, my childhood trick-or-treating, watching him get the candy, going door to door, he's like, I'm going to take 2. Like, I was just like, it brought me more joy, I think, than going trick-or-treating as a kid.
Yeah, like I think as you get older, you realize that there are different times in your life that of Halloween that's better than when you were an actual kid. But, you know, for me, like, last night was awesome, man. Like, I just sat there, had a beer. It was an excuse to have a beer in the driveway, and, like, people were cool with it. You know what I mean? Like, I enjoyed that.
That's the thing. That's the thing too. There was stuff for the adults. Like the neighborhood was packed, man. They were giving out Jello shots, little bottles of liquor, beers, like IPAs. It was like I was walking around drinking.
So I gotta ask. I had this conversation with my wife yesterday. Was it like that when we were kids and we were just naive to it?
I don't know. I don't remember, to be honest with you. I don't know, but it was an experience, man. It was like the whole neighborhood made it fun for the adults. It was like everybody was outside.
I think we are looking for more excuses to party, and I do think in the back of our minds, like post-COVID did that too, right? We're all together, like and plus, like the world sucks right now, right? Like everybody's miserable, so it's like it's an excuse to have like a nice community day where everybody's drinking, having a good time. And I think, like, I wonder if it's more of that now than it was back in the day. But then again, we were kids, so I don't know if I was just naive to it.
Probably. But and then I just wanted to chime in on the Cowboys, Eagles. So my first thing is that I think over the years, personalities of like on the teams, like the players, the coaches, like they evolved. Like, so that mentality of like rivalry between Dallas isn't there as much anymore. And I agree, the Giants, like I'm 36, so the Giants was like a team that I hated, you know, in my teenage years. So that was like a big rivalry. But I don't think there's any juice in this division like for these games anymore like that leading up, because the Eagles have been so dominant.
Yeah.
The only thing that really irks me about the Cowboys is Jerry Jones. I heard him on ESPN. I think it was like the week after they lost to San Francisco, and then San Francisco had their first loss. He was like, "Oh," he said that, San Fran can get got, but they lost to San Fran. Like, got by who, Jerry? Not by you.
Right? Yeah, you guys just lost. Yeah, I mean Jerry Jones. But here's the deal, and I want him to be there forever because they have sucked because of him.
Exactly.
All right, brother. I appreciate the call, man. Glad you had a good time with your kid yesterday. I'll ask you, Ray, was I naive to it when I was a kid?
You just made me reconsider my entire Halloween experience. Because I know if there are two people that would have indulged and enjoyed it, probably would have been my parents. So I'm guessing it was that way, and I just didn't realize.
Because here's the deal. So yesterday, it was cold yesterday.
Yes.
So last year, I remember it sucked. It rained. But last year was at least like in the upper 60s. And me, the house across from me, the house diagonally from me, and the house next to me, just the four of us were all outside last year. Last night, 3 of the 4. But then down the road, group of parents, fire pit, like they had something going on. The cul-de-sac behind me, me and my neighbor across the street, we actually did a walk around. Like, you know, once like the candy was slowing down, we did a walk around. Dude, I'm in the cul-de-sac behind me. Oh, you want a shot? Oh, you want this? Hey, you want to take a hit? Like, you know, it's like, wait a minute. Was it like this when we were kids? And so I remember my parents, so we lived in a cul-de-sac, and we were friendly with all the neighbors. So what they ended up doing, which I thought was cool, especially when we were like, you know, old enough to do the neighborhood by ourselves without like parental supervision, they set up a fold-up chair or fold-up table at the beginning of the cul-de-sac, and everybody had their buckets of candy. And it was like, these are all, you know, all 6 of these houses. This is like, grab each from each bucket and get out of here. Like, you don't have to make the walk all the way down the cul-de-sac and all the different houses. And they had a cooler, you know, beer, wine. You know, they had some snacks out there. But I only remember that because, like, my parents did it for the party. I don't remember any other cul-de-sac that did that. I don't remember any other house that was set up outside. It was always walk to the door, ring the doorbell, trick or treat. And the reason why this really sticks out to me is kids don't say trick or treat anymore. They don't knock on because everybody's outside. You already see me. You're not ringing the doorbell. So part of me goes, am I taken away from the experience of the kid going up to the door? But like, then again, they just want their candy. Like, they don't care what my house looks like.
It's also different because I don't think kids do the whole knock on the door or anything. Like, your communication, like, you're not going up to your friends.
Yeah, you're right. You're
knocking on the door and saying, "Hey,
calling,
are they around?"
It's like calling or texting.
You know they're
kids
around.
are getting their phones. You know,
right. Not they got the iPad message, or they got the parents messaging or whatever. Like, I don't know. Or maybe it's changed that way. I did notice yesterday that, I was driving around. I got back probably my apartment sometime around 4:45-ish, and apparently it was already big-time Halloween out there, people moving around. And I saw, and granted, I'm in Northern Liberty, so it's a lot of young couples that are taking their younger kids around, pushing them around. But it was like one hand on the cart pushing the kid and one hand with something, some sort of beverage. And that was like the entire neighborhood of people moving around.
But I'm also talking about not just the walking around. Like, dude, my entire street pretty much. There's probably 10 houses on both sides in my development. I would say out of the 20 houses, maybe 10 had setups outside, but then one of the houses had like their neighbors all there.
Yeah.
Like, it's just been, it became an excuse to sit outside and have a good time. Now, Anthony M. Schmall makes a great point. He goes, people used to sneak kegs into the vet. You really think, this generation started like drinking on Halloween? No, I don't think like we started drinking on Halloween. I don't remember as a kid, and I lived in a neighborhood as a kid, people setting up outside doing the bonfire and having the cooler. I don't remember that.
Yeah. I remember it in my neighborhood, kind of. Like, it was one of those 50-50 things. I think there were people set up. My parents did a projector screen. They had the Charlie Brown Halloween thing going, so they have it going. But there were people that would do the outside set. There'd also be houses you go and knock. It was a kind of an even split of the two, but overall, I can't remember. And it was like that last night also, driving around, seeing what was going on, where people are sitting outside and just having a good time. I mean, I'm all for it. I'm never going to say no to a good time, so I'm glad everyone enjoyed it.
No, it's great. I don't know if it used to be like that. Now let's continue the conversation. And of course, also about the Eagles-Cowboys rivalry. My man Mike from Delran. What up, Mike?
What's up, guys?
How you doing?
Whopper's trash, bro.
Why are you attacking me, man?
Come on, you know I love you.
Why are you attacking me? I'm just trying to enjoy a nice day. It's a Wednesday, a couple days away from the weekend. I'm just here. I am just having minding my own business, and I'm getting attacked with hate crimes.
You can enjoy it eating all them Whoppers if you want to, because nobody else wants them. And that I'm Enjoy story was cool until that kid grows up to be a serial killer. So you're not going to think it was so sweet when he's in prison.
Well, you know what? What? He'll let me go though. He'll let me slide. He goes, that was the guy with the almond joys. I'll let him slide.
He might the almond joy killer. You started it, just so you know. Just remember it. Listen, I was born in 81, right? So in 93, I was 12. One day I go into school, pre-Super Bowl that year, and there's no Dallas Cowboys stuff anywhere. And then all of a sudden I go in the next day after the Cowboys win a Super Bowl, and now some people got these Cowboys starter jackets.
Right.
As long as a Cowboy fan lives and breathes in this area that never once visited or even lived in Dallas, my hatred for them will continue until the day I die. Those losers were just somebody that hopped onto a bandwagon, and they stuck with it because for a few years after that, they kept getting these little Super Bowls.
But you know what's amazing, dude? We don't even hear from them anymore. I know
time out. You will.
I know they're on social media and all that kind of stuff, but they used to call into the station all the time.
Listen to me, Andrew. If we lose this game on Sunday, let me know where they are on Monday.
Well, they ain't losing. We ain't losing.
I'm just telling you. You know you're going to hear from them. And that's the other reason why I hate them. You don't hear from them.
No, they're cockroaches.
Until they win a game or they win a playoff game. Then all of a sudden you got all those Cowboy fans that call the station that, and I hate it. I hate it so much. I'd rather let two raccoons eat trash out of my ears than have to listen to those Cowboys fans on these airwaves the next day. Because if you look any Cowboy fan in the face that lives anywhere around here, if they've ever even been to Dallas, they've never even been
there. No, of course not.
I don't care about the Giants fan or the Redskins fan because you know what? Geographically, they may have been close to those areas. I don't care. It's the Dallas Cowboy fan that will forever make this rivalry one of the most important ones in sports. And it's not the players. It's not the star. It's not that team. It's not coaches in the past. It's that scumbag or cockroach Cowboys fan that's going to call in on Monday if the Eagles lose this game. That's going to make me throw up and want to go hit every one of them with my car. Go Birds.
All right, go Birds. Good thing I don't have to hear from them because the Eagles aren't losing this weekend. I won't say the words. Rocking chair, feet up.
Chesty Chunas is back.
No, I just feel good about them winning this game. All right, what's the line? Let me see. I haven't looked at the line yet for this game. Couple days. No, not Facebook. Jeez, who uses that anymore?
Be someone in that chair.
FanDuel Sportsbook. The line on the game, Eagles by 3. America's Game of the Week, 425. Home game. So check out pregame show. Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Courtesy of our friends at FanDuel. I'll be there with Bob and Pat. And you might be on the road. Let me know when that's confirmed so we can promote it.
Okay.
All right. Let me know it's okay. Or it's not happening anymore.
We never know.
But we'll hear you.
You will hear me.
You'll be on the air Sunday.
9 to 1. Lead into you guys.
So we'll check that out. Some of the new players of the Sixers are talking, by the way. Marcus Morris. I saw this tweet from Paul Hudrick. He says it's surreal to be playing for the Philadelphia 76ers. Says he's going to surprise people with the way he fits in here. I still don't know what this lineup's going to be. It's one of these things that I keep every once in a while. It pops into my head. What's that starting lineup tomorrow? And it's not going to be the same by the end of the season because I imagine they make another trade and something's going to happen. But is Morris a guy that when healthy, he hasn't been playing due to personal reasons? Is he a guy he can play the 4? He plays the 4. I just wonder what they end up doing with the starting lineup. We'll see. All right, let's go back to the phones. My man Drew in Norristown. What's up, Drew?
Doobies with Drew.
What's up, brother? Coming to a station near you. What's going on, dude?
Hi, Ray. What's up, buddy? I'm a little salty about the Phillies, of course. You know, we talked last week, and my Dolphins didn't do well. But speaking of Halloween, I was 8, 9, 10 years old, man. I used to get pillowcases full of candy.
Oh, yeah.
Because nobody would stay outside. I'm old. You just knocked on the door, and I have a football helmet on. Do we know you? Yeah, you know me. Just give me the candy. You know what I mean? It was a great time back then. Nobody actually stayed out. Now they're all out in the driveways.
All right, so I'm right. Yeah, so back in the day, it was always going to the door. I don't remember people doing the set. Like, it's become all of a sudden an excuse to party.
Like you said, everybody's outside and handing out beer. I'll be handing out doobies to the mothers and fathers.
Yes,
you know?
Of course.
But anyway, the Phillies, I'm still salty, and I went down to the game. You know, I'm a Dolphins fan, and we didn't do too well. We got a big one this week. But you know what, Tunis? F the Cowboys. I hate the Cowboys. Always did my whole life.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think it doesn't matter if you're an Eagles fan or a Dolphins fan. I think everybody hates the Cowboys.
Yeah. And like you said, they are cockroaches. The last caller, man, if they win, you got to hear their freaking idiot mouths or whatever. But now they're cockroaches. You don't hear nothing. You know, but they haven't been nothing in the last 20 years.
Last 20 years, and that's why I don't think it's the same as it used to be, Drew, and I appreciate the call. I mean, there's just not the same as it used to be. It's still there. The history's still there. You know, we should never ignore history. History will always be there. But I just can't help but go, hey, it's a little different nowadays. Now, real quick, back to Sirianni. I thank Eagles Nation for tweeting out the full quote on the Kenneth Gainwell question. Because he was asked about being, the running back over Rashad Penny. So I said this on pregame, and I'm pretty sure I said this to you on Monday, that he would say something to this extent. Quote, there's things that you don't see, right? He's speaking specifically. He's strictly to us. Like, right at us, he's talking. He's our running back, too, because he's the second best running back on our team. That's based on games. That's based on practice. That's also based on the whole body of work. You know, I didn't get this question when he pushed over 2 guys again in the end zone last week or when he played great in the playoffs last season. No, he did play great in the playoffs last year. I still didn't think that he was all of a sudden running back 1, and I know he's saying RB2 now, but week 1 of the season, he was RB1, and DeAndre Swift barely played in week 1. And then DeAndre Swift goes off for 175 in week 2, and they go, oh, wait, maybe Kenny G isn't the number 1. I know that he's not going to rip Kenneth Gainwell. I get it. But, like, come on, man. Just competitive advantage this. Just don't play him. All right? Just leave it at that. Oh, look at this. Edith. What's up, Edith?
Hey, Andrew. How are you?
I am great. It is great hearing from you.
Good. I'm trying to get down to see you live on Sunday.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I know you're fired up for this game.
Oh, man, I am fired up. I can't stand the Cowboys. I had 2 of them I had to take care of a couple weeks ago.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, yeah, they kind of jumped me because I wear my Eagle stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
All day, every day. And they kind of came at me. And I told them, I said, look, I'm not starting with you guys. I said, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to finish it. Now, you can start if you want to. And, man, please, y'all ain't won nothing in 25, 30 years. What is y'all talking about?
Exactly.
And then y'all have the nerve to say that we hide and we don't, you can't, nobody hides better than y'all.
Yeah, one of the first callers of the show today was a Cowboys fan. Said, man, you guys make this more than we do. Like, what are you talking about? You're the one calling into a Philadelphia sports radio station.
Exactly. And they always hide. As soon as I ain't heard no Cowboys, none of them. I got a couple of my family. Ain't heard nothing about nothing. So as soon as they lose, they go into hiding. As soon as they win, now I don't think I think we're going to take care of business. I don't care. And I'm going down Dallas for my retirement. Since I retired, I just retired in August.
Yeah, that's right. Congratulations.
I'm going to Dallas to see us whip their butts at the stadium.
Oh, is that right? So you're going to Jerry's World.
I'm going to Jerry's World. Me and my daughter, she's my ride and die with me. So she'll be with me Sunday, too.
Oh, I love that.
So, they always talking stuff. Always talking stuff, crying and moaning. And then when they lose, they don't answer the phone.
No, of course not.
They don't
because they got no spine. That's why they're spineless.
And what you talking about? You haven't won nothing. Y'all need to be quiet because you ain't won nothing. I said, win something in this century. They see me.
Yeah.
Win something in this century.
It's 2023, Edith. I mean, it's not like it's 2005. We're 2023.
I know. They act like it's yesterday or something. Man, please. They phony. Can't stand them. I can't wait to go and step on that star.
Oh, damn right. I can't wait to see you on Sunday. Make sure you stop by, all right?
I will. Yep, I sure will. You have a good one, Andrew. And tell Cooper I said hello. I know he's getting big. He enjoyed his Halloween.
Yeah, he did. I will. Thanks, Edith. I appreciate it. Edith's the best. Yeah. Coop's Halloween. He did. First time in his life. Went and got his own candy.
Impressive.
The neighbors kind of asked. They're like, hey, do you mind if he stops by and grabs a Hershey bar? So he did. He walked him across the street, got the Hershey bar. Then the other neighbor, can he come over here? It's like, all right, he's not going to eat any of it. But yeah, sure. He's not at that age yet. He can't.
Right.
Yeah, so,
well, that's cool.
you know.
You got to see him get
That's
candy.
cool.
Yeah, nice moment for you.
The only thing I felt really bad about was, so he goes across the street and he gets the fun size Hershey bar, you know. Then my other neighbor, this is the neighbor with the leaves. She goes, hey, can Cooper come by? Yeah, sure. Walk up the driveway. She's got the big things. And I'm like, oh. I said, I can't. No, this is more so for you. I was like, no, I got 80 tons. I was like, let the other kids that are walking around, because that's always the best house. When you walk up to the house that has the big bags of candy, because she had the Skittles and Starburst, and it wasn't like one Starburst. It was the row of Starburst. Right. You know what I mean? Like, no, let the other kids have that joy. But she insisted for Cooper to get the big bag of Skittles.
That's sweet.
And so now they're in the house. So maybe I'll bring those in for you, too.
Not just for me, man. There's a lot of people here that like it.
Yeah, but it's a bag of Skittles. Like, I don't know, whatever. All right, that'll do it for today. It was a fun-spirited show. We'll continue Eagles-Cowboys week tomorrow, even though it's not the same. We'll continue it tomorrow. I'll be broadcasting live outside of Maxie's on Temple's campus tomorrow. So if you're a Temple student or you're in the area, make sure you stop on by, say hi. Some more Eagles, huh?
Have a highlight for me.
I will. I'll take care of it. Maybe a Lion's Head, Soko shot. I'll take care of it. Don't you worry. Everybody have a great rest of your day. Best show ever coming your way next, right here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
No deals on deadline day. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by Temple Football. Don't miss big-time college football action when Temple battles Navy this Saturday at 2 p.m. at Lincoln Financial Field. Kids tickets are as low as $10 on game day. Visit owlstix.com. The Eagles didn't make a trade on the NFL